Oh, sick. So last time, the party was just arriving at the outskirts of St. Roselock via ship. That's where we left off after a pretty intense battle on board where a couple of your crewmate got cut down, Rachel, and you had a funeral at sea for them, I believe. And
Correct.
then
Ooh.
you guys managed to find your way into St. Roseluck, and immediately upon entering, you noticed a large kind of board with several businesses putting up notices, and a few of them caught your eye. And I guess I'll just move us back over to that map for now.
Is there nothing else for us to do involving those serpents?
Not. I mean, I'll move us back over there just in case, but I don't really think so. Anyways, the very first place you checked out, I believe, was the Rhyming Mantle to see if you could help Anya pawn off some of her monster bits, and also to kind of just peruse wares, if I remember rightly. And there you met a couple of NPCs, had a decent time, realized that magic items are pretty damn expensive, and got a couple of your scrolls identified at the price of one of them, which I believe was a scroll of umbral weapon.
Yep.
After that, you guys headed over to the oh, never mind, there is one more important story bit. Nick at some point had shown his sword with the mark of the Lionsmith to the store owner, Tebnet, and he told you to keep that under wraps and to maybe not go around town showing that off because of something which is still kind of shrouded in mystery, something that's been going on within the church. So to get a little bit more information about how their religion worked, you guys headed over to the archives, and a few of you spent around an hour searching through for specific bits and bobs. Cody had spent his time trying to figure out how to attach a blade to his gun, and a few of you...
A gun sword.
Yeah, make a gun sword, essentially. And a few of you had spent time, as I was saying, just kind of going over basic lore. Talaro found a children's coloring book, and Zach found the stairway up to the upper levels of the library, which you presume is where they're keeping some more of that sensitive information, as when you were going through the books, you realized one of them very clearly had a chapter cut out, and the contents was missing related to the Lionsmith. From there, you either went back to the Rhyming Mantle, or it was earlier, but Tebnet had offered you a little bit of a job where he said he would pay you around 700 gold pieces if you could help him clean up after a messed up experiment of his, in which he told you to be on the lookout for two or three undead, I believe. And that is where we went back over to that combat map. There were a couple of those burning skeletons, which you dispatched with relative ease, and then a couple more serious snake-like skeletons, which proved to be quite a bit more of a hurdle. But in the end, you guys vanquished them both, and that's about where we left off the session. Did I miss anything?
The part where it was entirely Nick who killed the second snake.
Yes, at some point Trouble did just like crit a smite and obliterate one of them, I don't remember.
Yes.
Talara was
happened.
high AF until we got to combat, basically.
And Zach is currently paralyzed.
Oh yeah, Zach took a pretty bad hit at the very end of the fight, and he is seizing up on the floor.
I'll roll him onto his side.
Yay! Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll
I'd
just
like to
do,
attempt to heal
in
check
the
on him.
several. I would say in the several minutes that pass, as like Charlie was going and trying to collect all the bits and bobs from these things, you've been kind of like staying at his side, doing what you can, and eventually the poison wears off. All it is paralysis, so he's pretty much fine.
I'd like to attempt a heal check.
Would you like to figure out what Miu is doing, or are you just letting it happen, Zach?
Didn't we attempt this already and Mio thought bleeding was the best solution?
That's a good
Bloodletting?
point. There was a roll at the end there. Let me scroll up. That kind of goes along with the bluff check. So you know what? You realize like very quickly you have no idea how to heal him, and then you're like, "Don't worry, I got this," and just kind of like do nothing.
That's exactly what I do.
They believe you might have done something, maybe. Regardless, the beasts lay slain, their bits and bobs harvested, and the party is free to return.
Let me make one last perception check to make sure there aren't any more of the giant bone liches.
I believe somebody already did, but if you'd like to, go ahead. Just
Should make
spend some time
perception
like
check to find
And you're
loot
the
in
one that's been
general.
getting those nat 20s on perception, right?
Yeah.
Look for loot.
I want to look around, find anything. You know, perception. Nope. Like that was last session's luck.
Yeah. You glance around after, beating the crap out of that one skeleton in the corner. You're still trying to, find a target to vent your rage at, so you're just kind of, maneuvering through the halls looking for stuff. Nothing really catches your eye. This place looks like a pretty much decrepit ruin.
Yeah, it is investigation. What church or what god did this church worship?
That would be a knowledge religion.
Hey,
Can I do that?
trouble.
Yeah.
Religion man.
Since that one guy was using this as his base of operations, I'm curious, I guess.
Go ahead. Let's see.
Anyone else got it?
I don't know if Charlie's character has it.
Can you access his character sheet? I might change it so that you could, because I'm kind of working on other things.
Would I gain
yeah.
any bonuses from having read up on it recently?
I did lower the DC, but unfortunately an 8 is not enough. He does have knowledge religion. Still not good enough. He rolled a 2.
Is there a symbol around that we can sketch down?
Yes, I'm
Could
just
I
trying
roll a
to
knowledge
find
local?
It.
Not quite the same thing here.
I would let it happen, but also it's a higher DC because it's less relevant.
Fair enough. Crit fail.
Yep. I'll go up to the altar and I'll see if there's any symbols that are inscribed into it or on any of the kind of stone.
Okay. I'll say just roll a perception check. This is just not your guys' day.
Buddy, we're not
but-
rolling above a 10 and you know it.
That's
Can I
fair.
attempt this?
I
on
guess.
it? Baby.
I mean, it's not that difficult if you spend a few minutes.
I mean, I'll take a 10 if that's a possibility here.
Yeah. I'll just say with several of you searching, eventually you kind of stumble upon one of the fallen pillars, and you see what you think might have been a symbol of whatever god this church was worshipping. And it's almost like a hypnotism pattern where it's a whole bunch of lines headed towards the center of a circle while kind of spiraling inward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How many
that.
points or how many
there
lines
are,
are in the spiral?
7.
So 7 lines of a spiral, and they all spiral at some rate towards the center point.
Yes.
There's an actual... If we have one more detail about it, we could actually tell you exactly what it looks like, but we'll just not count how many revolutions from the start of the point to the center.
God.
'Cause if we
I
did that-
have not drawn it out, so I don't know, but it would be.
Because effectively, if we did that, we would know exactly what it looks like.
And I would also say, the center of it, instead of just meeting at a single point, ends in a Gordian knot of
Okay.
But you could just do 2 or 3 revolutions, I'm sure. It's not a million. It's just
We got 7, and they all come to a Gordian knot. All right.
It doesn't resemble the Lionsmith at all, does it?
no. The
All right.
Lionsmith symbol, which you would have, you would know this at this point as characters. It's basically a knife in it, or it might be either a flail or a knife. I'm actually failing to remember the source material, but it's not the same.
Intriguing. So this deity is a god of war, the lionsmith?
The Lionsmith is, yeah.
Not
I
the
think I
real-
may have only told Nick this, or I might have said it at one point, but the Lionsmith is essentially like he's the god of like chaos, rebellion, and like unorganized battle.
I have a theory, but I'll hold off on it for now.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys pretty much don't see much other than that one like kind of decrepit symbol.
Right? Yeah, the staircases you've said go nowhere.
Yeah, the staircases don't exist.
Cool.
Okay, I double checked. The Lionsmith symbol is like essentially a warhammer encased in a circle.
Kind of odd symbolism. You'd figure that a god of chaos wouldn't have a hammer, which is usually a sign of organization and progress.
In this case, it's a sign of smashing shit to bits.
I like this.
So, that wraps up the decrepit temple.
Out of curiosity, does did I just fail the check to figure out which one it was, or have I really not seen it before?
You failed the check.
Yeah.
You would know just like having been over the book that you have in your possession. It's not something you immediately recognize as one of the major hours.
Mm.
So I'll move us back over to the board. It's really up to you guys where you want to head over to next. If you want, I think it's getting kind of late in the day at this point. It's probably like 6 in the afternoon.
Do we
So
want
there's
to
still
get
enough
paid and then go
time.
drinking?
Yeah, let's go get paid.
I have a few guesses as to what it is, but
Okay. So you guys head back over to the Rhyming Mantle, presumably. So you go back to the bazaar, push through the like cloth door again, and once more get hit with like the bigger on the inside than the outside perspective shift as you enter. Tebnet is still absent, but his cashier Owen is there, as well as like another store
Do we need to
personnel.
do we need to bring proof of kill?
Technically, I would say Charlie has like in his bone picking bits, like has like the skulls.
All right.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do have a note about making sure Miyu does not skim from payment because of the 700 that we supposedly received in advance, and then 700 later because
No,
it
you
was
didn't
supposed
get part
to
of
be.
that.
It was supposed to be for the entire party.
The 700 afterwards, yeah.
No, it was 1400 for the entire party.
No, Rachel, no.
I
No,
think,
you're
yeah,
wrong.
it's 700 for
No, like amongst the different party members, wasn't it? Like 200 each, but 1400 total.
No.
it was
700 was
for the
We sold him a stone.
yeah, they sold him stone. Which
At
the
which
three of
that
them,
was- Unless you want to be involved in
No,
highway robbery.
No, I heard but I distinct because I wrote it down because I was actually very concerned because Logan said 700 now, 700 later.
Then I misspoke. It was 700 gold to deal with the undead, and it was 700 for the stone he was giving them.
Yeah, that's
That,
my
that was how it
impression
was
as
in
well.
my head.
Okay.
So if I said otherwise, it was me misspeaking. Regardless, Owen sees you guys come in, welcomes you into the store, sees the big undead snakeheads, and says, "Oh, well, I see. I take it that's what you were supposed to, take out."
we're here for Cecil, was it?
No.
I forget the name.
the-
Deb sent us out to kill these. Yeah, we brought them back. And they're dead.
Or
Or dead than normal.
the owner, Nick, is Tebnet. The cashier is Owen. And there's, one other person that I haven't
Thank you.
introduced, but that's fine.
Right.
Regardless, he will take the 2 skulls and he says, "You sure there wasn't any more there? I'm not gonna get like screwed when, you know, he comes back and I've paid you and I only have 2 skulls, right?
Well, if you wanted us to kill a specific number, you should have told us.
You said there were about 2 or 3 of this type, I assume. There was also a bunch of flaming skeletons around, but...
They've all
Yeah.
gone poof.
I'm sure that you probably finished the job. If you didn't, then I guess I'll yell at him for not being specific enough.
Yeah.
And
He should be able to find us.
just for the sake of it, I'll
And-
say he takes the skull of the one that Charlie couldn't craft well enough to get the gold value out of, and he hands over a fairly sizable, actually,
700.
a fairly
divided
small
amongst-
fact. And you have been paid in platinum pieces. So it's 70 platinum pieces amongst 7 pieces.
So 10 each.
Yep.
How much
I
is
asked if he'd be
platinum
willing
for?
to make a sale.
He raises an eyebrow and he says, normally that's not exactly my purview, but depending on the item, if I'm decent enough at appraising it, I can quote you a price.
No. Let me rephrase that. I'm looking for you to make a sale. I'm sure that you have plenty of information about the item, as I direct him to the case with the the many garments sleeves.
Ah, I see.
I've had
this
some
was,
unfortunate incidents.
Relatively recent addition to our collection. I believe the price was 200 gold pieces. As
Yep.
I ruffle through my notes trying to find the table where I wrote out all the items.
You know, I'm thinking though, I think that platinum is more useful in your pocket than this item. So, if you'd like, you could keep the 10 platinum, and I'll throw in another 50 GP.
He kind of gives you a wry glance and says, the price tag says 200 gold pieces.
Is
I'm
this something I
certainly
could
not
make
comfortable
a,
underselling you. If you want to haggle, wait until the boss comes back.
All right.
Otherwise,
You know what?
it's the listed
I,
price.
you see, I happen to know the man who made this, and I'd love to. No, wait, that's a bluff check.
Is it?
Well, technically, I only know the initials.
That's fair. I mean, it depends on your character. Does your character believe that the initials belong to the person you know, or do you think that they don't and you're lying?
I would think that these do belong to him. I mean, it's Cloves. I don't know how magical he is, but maybe? I don't know.
Because
I
it's just
could-
up to you between diplomacy.
They have the
and-
same modifier.
Okay, just roll it then. So you
Jesus.
say you know the person that made this?
Yes, I do.
That's interesting, but
This is like my uncle works for Nintendo.
yeah, it's like my dad works for Xbox. Look, I'm really not supposed to undersell items while he's not here.
All right. Well, just tell him I'm interested in it, and I'll be back tomorrow. Where is
Wait
he
a second.
actually?
I mean, he left several hours ago. He hasn't been back since. Didn't really say where, but
Is this normal?
let me roll him a int check to see if he remembers. Nope. I mean, he'll leave the store to us on occasion. It's not out of the ordinary.
Well, let us. If you can't find him, we're staying at insert in name here.
Ah, I see. Insert in name here. Very famous. Well renowned.
Yes, plenty of orcs I hear. I
Alright.
assume that place that the orcs were at was an inn.
Also, I think you had already actually said to hold the sleeves of many garments for you.
I did.
Yeah, so
So I guess
in...
I'm waiting for him anyways.
Yes. Okay.
Out of curiosity, did the librarian I talked to about the missing page back then happen to tell me what rank a person would be that would know about that kind of information?
I don't think they specified. They just said, like, it's likely on a higher floor, and the higher floors are barred to, like, people that are kind of within the clergy. To some extent. So, like,
Right.
it's
Hey,
closed to
Owen, who's in
outsiders.
charge around here? Like, is there a pope?
There's a council of 12, or actually 24. My bad. There's a council of 24. Each one of the hours has a representative, so to speak, in the cathedral district. They
Awesome.
vote on things pretty much democratically.
Do they have like a speaker amongst them, or do they just each bring up their own ideas?
It's more of like an open debate, really. Each bring up their own ideas, each have their own goals and desires, and we push forward as they agree.
Interesting.
Hey,
Thank you for that.
I'm trying to think about something specific. Can I roll knowledge nobility?
Go ahead.
Swear, Alex, we can't roll above a 10.
I mean,
Oh, never mind. That's just a low
you
modifier.
rolled a 12. Let's go.
So, because I went to Laro's trying to remote because as high as she was in the library
Mhm.
last session, she is vaguely aware that they are pretending like one of the hours doesn't exist.
Yes.
So she's trying to figure out if there's like some kind of protocol for like how that would work when there's supposed to be a council of 24 and they're pretending like one of them does not exist.
So you would know, like, nobility in this sense is like bloodline, like, you know,
Mhm.
passing title from child to child.
Yep.
You would know that in this theocracy, that's not how it works. They're not like bloodline based, you know, religious figures. It's like the cardinals and the pope. They're not related. They kind of get chosen. So if one of them is like, if the pope absconded, then one of the cardinals would get essentially promoted, and this might be like the interim.
Okay. Interesting. Also, what is their relationship like with the diarchy?
It's, I mean, you're far enough apart that like they're mostly kind of just trading.
Okay, like
So, like-
vaguely aware of each other's existence.
Yeah, they're not allies, but they're, you know, they're lukewarm.
They're probably not going to recognize a missing princess.
No, they would, I mean, unless you like, hey, I'm this person, they would not recognize you.
No.
So,
Okay.
Out of curiosity, could I ask that clerk what position his boss holds exactly? In terms of
Like-
the archives?
I don't think his bot. No, he just went to the library. He I don't think he works there.
You might have like
In terms of access, I'm curious if
Uh,
I can get a favor from him to look at the archives on the second floor.
roll me a persuasion check. Just like to see how, or even if you want like a flat charisma to see if you can convince this person to like give out this information.
Diplomacy, I guess?
Yeah, I guess that would work. Sorry, I still get this freaking skill names all mixed up now. Yeah, okay, 17. He says, well, I mean, from what I know of Tebnet's past, he used to work inside the clergy. I don't know exactly what rank he, you know, was at, but I know he's become less and less entangled as time went on. He might still have some of his old connections, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure he would get at least to the 4th floor in the archives, if that's what you're getting at.
Ah, I see. I was hoping I could probably do him a favor in the future to perhaps gain access, since that's how I heard you would get to those floors anyway.
Possible that he could bring you down some notes if that is of your interest.
I wouldn't mind that at all, actually. Would you leave a note that
It's-
I asked for that?
It's unusual that he stays away for more than a day or two at a time. If you come back tomorrow, I'm sure he'll be done with whatever business he's attending to.
I'll be sure to do that then. Thank you.
You mean we would have to pay to get notes that aren't going to disappear?
It would be, you do him a favor, he goes into the archives, buys the paper, and goes up and takes notes for you and brings them back down.
I see.
Speaking of paper, is there a general store around?
Yeah, it's down that way, 3 blocks.
Ah, wonderful. Thank you. Trouble's off to buy some paper and ink.
I'm off to the inn.
You'll
Yeah.
get that
Insert
right after making the purchase.
Google
Yeah.
Maps description of how to get to the inn, which I don't want to do, but it's a fair distance away.
So,
Going to the Booze Brothers.
Turn right on Splendor Drive.
Yep. Nick, go ahead and just like look up prices for paper and ink, and you can buy them at market price.
Alright.
on the way there, I just want to wrap my arm around Cody's like, hey there, buddy. You're buying me a drink.
You want me to turn your plasma to wine? Because, guess what?
I didn't really
I
have
can.
100% of the time needed to populate this bar, but there are more people than there are. Regardless, you come up to a fairly sizable establishment with a big old wooden sign on the outskirts with just has like 2 clinking beer mugs together, and it's in big like bold letters, the Booze Brothers over the door.
It has no effect on creatures.
Ink is 8 gold pieces.
I
goddamn.
offer to buy Andrew 1 drink out of respect for his fire magic.
Either way, I'll be
Right.
spending 9.
One shot of wild magic tequila, please.
All right.
I'll
So-
go sit on the other side of the room.
It
Yeah, I'll just move y'all
begins.
into that. So you see
Five.
behind the counter there is a dwarf working and like being a bartender. You hear rustling from presumably what is a kitchen inside, but really the first thing you recognize is just this absolute unit of an orc. He's like 7 feet tall and probably just like looks like he could, wrestle a semi-truck. And he is going around and serving drinks to the patrons at the tables.
I asked
without
for
reading-
a cubic foot of water.
I can get you a pint.
That'll do.
He just kind of stares at you weird as he like essentially gets a pint full of tap water in a glass and puts it on the table.
But you don't get kicked out.
I'm going to try to discreetly cast Tears to Wine on it.
All right. It's got verbal and somatic components.
Is the bar not going to be loud?
That's fair. This is kind of a boisterous place. So go
I'll,
ahead and just.
I'll
if you
call
want
over
to
the
roll
orc
stealth
as
check-
a help for Cody. I'll call over the orc.
Okay.
Why?
Cody, I'm over
Get
here.
him off of your back.
Oh, I see. I'm dumb.
The orc will, come over.
I asked him if he's the one that put up the notice, as I'm just trying to make idle conversation for Cody to be making his check.
What do you want me to roll?
Stealth, I guess. To see how like decent you are at hiding the verbal and okay, that's pretty decent.
Nat 1.
Hopefully that does it.
Aw.
So within the, relative clamoring of the bar, you manage to disguise some of your somatic components as kind of like a cheers and hide the verbal components under your breath. Logan, on your side of things, the 7-foot tall orc kind of just like, as soon as you start talking to him, you get the feeling that he might be a little slow. Like he takes a while to blink and seems to sit there and try to process what you were saying.
Does he blink one eye at a time?
Just about.
I sit there and I smile and wait for his response.
Yes.
He's the sloth from the DM.
I ask him if he likes food.
Yes. Quicker this time.
I ask him if he likes booze.
Yes.
Almost immediately on that one.
Uh-huh.
I ask if he'd like to drink with me.
Takes him a second. Working.
Okay.
Later.
Later. Speaking of later, you wouldn't happen to have any rooms for rent, would you?
Blink. You get the feeling that might have gone over his head. But the dwarf behind the counter will, come up and say, "Aye, we got rooms."
Awesome. You want to buddy up here, Darhaka?
What was that?
You want to buddy up for a room?
Sure. Works
Cool.
for me.
To put it in perspective, this orc has an intelligence score of 5, which makes him slightly less intelligent than a horse.
So since Charlie's not here, I'll just buddy up with Anya and pay for a room.
All right. Let me dig through the book again because I'm sure that there's a price that I'm forgetting. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a silver piece a night. But
Have
I
fun,
wanna
Logan.
Make sure that I'm not like vastly
know, this is-
overcharging.
What do you
There's
need?
Room?
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun. I don't have to
It's
sleep
2
with,
silver
you know,
pieces a night.
2 silver pieces a night for the room.
Yes.
Awesome. Zach, 1 silver piece each.
Well.
Yeah,
Logan,
just
pay for
pay
my
it
room.
before Anya can even think about it.
Thank you.
Charlie was here, he'd probably say something in that tone of super high and saying, "Oh, thanks, man," or something. But
I just missed what you said again, Logan.
Zach, pay 1 silver piece.
Alright, I can do that.
Awesome. We've got a room for the night.
Schnazzy.
Yeah. I'll ask what's on the menu for the evening.
Give me 1 second to respond to a DM.
Yep.
oh, just as a side note, the fancy corset has been on the ship the entire time. She refused to wear that. I just didn't think that was worth saying, but in case it comes up while we're in town.
So okay, the menu. It's not exactly the finest of food. You recognize that it's kind of like going to a sports bar and getting food instead of going to a restaurant. It's like the main attraction here is the drinks. The food is kind of secondary.
Ask if they have mac and cheese.
Sure. It's on the menu.
I'll order the mac and cheese with extra beef bits.
Ooh. Ooh, I like your thinking there. I will do the same.
All right. Wow, food is like expensive as shit.
Is it?
Like an in-stay is 2 silver pieces. A meal is 1 silver piece.
Holy
Hold on,
shit.
it might actually have been included in the room. Probably that's the case. I'm gonna presume that's the case. And
Yeah.
just food is included.
Awesome. This is the kind of place I like to sleep.
I want to walk up and say, "Don't forget my room." Then walk back to the table.
To which one?
Logan.
Well, Logan.
Well, Logan.
Well, Logan, I have to think about this one a little bit.
I mean, you just made like 100 gold pieces. That's
I'll have you know, I happen to make net 0 profit as I plan on spending that.
I see. I mean, that's fair.
So I've had no profits for the quarter, and thus I have no taxes. That said, this guy. I'll eat my mac and cheese first as I think about this problem.
Logan, I will say, I kind of just say it to the two of you, so if you want to pawn it off on Zach, you can try.
I mean, we can split it.
Fair enough.
You know what? This is a cheap in.
Yes,
I'll buy
it
him.
is.
I'll buy him this time around.
Alright.
I do buy Andrew 1 drink.
Rachel, would you be willing to buy Wild Magic Tequila?
If Alex is allowing the existence of
Wild
wild
Magic Tequila
tequila,
exists. It's on the shelf, but I mean, it is fairly expensive, so be warned. It's 5 gold pieces for a shot, or 25 gold pieces for a bottle of 6.
we are buying 1 shot of wild magic tequila.
Zach,
Alright,
we're not buying
gotta go
Wild
pull up
Magic
the table.
Tequila.
No, we are not.
Nope. I like my money in solid form, not liquid form.
Yeah.
Who's buying the tequila shot?
I am, but it's for Andrew.
You see, he slides over a piece of paper that says, if you drink this in the restaurant and you cast Fireball centered on yourself, you are liable for all damages.
Alright.
Yeah, Alex, I'll go ahead and chuck the room key for Andrew's room over to Nick and tell him that he's buddying up with him.
I guess that's one less silver I have to spend anyway.
I got you covered. The downside is you have to sleep with Andrew.
I
So
don't
did-
mind. I've been spending a lot of money recently. You'll
So,
just see trouble riding a bunch of ladders in the room.
Rachel, you give him the 5 gold pieces and he pours you a shot and
'Kay.
passes you the glass.
Walk over to Andrew. I am not paying for if you drink this and cast fireball. I show him the note. I'm like, I'm not paying for this if you end up with fireball centered on yourself in the restaurant.
Alex, what is the number for fireball before we roll?
I think it's like 80 something, but I could be wrong. Hold on.
Pathfinder, I
forget
think-
what it was.
Pathfinder has a weird wild magic table.
I'm literally just using the D&D one. 'Cause
Ah.
that's what I pulled up. So, we'll find out.
Okay, metagame time. Everyone's fine with me drinking this, correct?
Do it.
Hang
Send
on,
it.
let me get a measuring tape out.
I want to be
I wish
clear.
to take
Yeah, I'm
5
good.
feet. I wish to take a 5-foot step rearward before you do.
Yeah.
It is the number 7 or 8.
7 or 8
Yes.
for the fireball.
Yes.
All right,
I also pull Charlie
it's a
back.
D100.
Yeah, D100. So,
do it.
Doth, you slam back your shot or only a D100?
You got a 1 in 50 chance of casting fireball centered 47.
Alright, 47. Let me find it. I have so many freaking tabs open, dude. 47.
'Tis the life of a DM.
So, you all watch as next to Andrew's chair, at whatever table you're sitting at, a glorious white steed with a horn protruding from its head apparates from seemingly just thin air
A unicorn?
and sits there and stares blankly at you.
I want to ride the pony.
I don't have a unicorn token, so we're just gonna make this dude big and be like he's now the unicorn. Haha.
Yeah, Alex, quick question.
Yes.
Why does that dude why do those two guys look like they're really itching for a fight?
It's literally, I googled like townsfolk token 2 minutes before the session started because I realized it was completely empty in here. So that's why.
Hey, so we don't have to fight them yet.
Yet. Besides, they'd probably get tossed out the window by Dull.
Dole, is that his name?
Dull. Yes.
D-U or
D-H-U-L-L.
DHULL. Great. Dole is my friend now.
Can I ask the unicorn if it speaks?
You ask the unicorn if it speaks. It does not reply. I don't think. I actually need to look up a unicorn stat block. Unicorn, PFSRD. Alright. Do you speak any languages? I don't think so. Oh, shit, they do.
What do
Wait.
they speak?
Common and Sylvan.
I speak Sylvan.
I have no idea how to make a horse talk, so it just kind of like,
Just BoJack Horseman it.
yeah, pretty much. It's just like, yeah, sup.
I am
I mean-
speaking.
Hang on. Can anyone else here speak Sylvan?
It's probably speaking in common because I.
By the
asked
way,
in
you've got
common.
like 30 seconds left on this collect call. You should
Well,
probably like
hang on.
hurry it up.
I need to know if anyone else here speaks
I'm
the
getting a
Sylvan
call
or
from
if I'm
my
the one who has to
parents.
communicate it.
I'll be right back.
Alright. What
said
were you
it-
saying, Logan?
Did you say it spoke common?
Speaks Common and Sylvan.
Oh, okay. Then
Though you
Andrew
wouldn't
Andrew
know
can't
that
talk to it.
No, I can. It speaks
Yeah.
common.
Yeah, it speaks common. I'm saying you can talk to it.
Oh,
I
you
heard
said-
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, can. Am able.
Okay, it's like, oh, great magical beast. What is the greatest piece of wisdom you can bestow upon me?
Hold on. What's this thing's intelligence score?
Great Panzer of the Lake.
11.
Let's
That's
be in the
actually,
lake.
like,
What is
as
your
smart as
wisdom?
you can.
More intelligent than me.
Benfitties.
Big kitties.
I'm actually like, you've thrown me for a loop.
Hey, at least you don't have to look up anatomy of a worm.
That's fair. You ask him the most like relevant information he can provide, or the most what was you like?
The
what was your
greatest
wording?
bit or the greatest wisdom he can bestow upon him in this current moment.
The Feywild, totally humid, ruins all your hair. If you're going there, bring some hair care products. It really like messes with my mane. And then he just poofs out of existence.
That is great advice.
So I just want to say to everyone else that was one weird genie.
That. So I think what it says in the Wild Magic Surge is a unicorn controlled by the DM appears in a space within 5 feet of you, then disappears 1 minute later.
Well, I'm glad you controlled it to do absolutely nothing except talk.
What was I
Look.
supposed to have it do?
I mean, it was controlled by me, and I was blindsided, so unless I wanted to just have it, like, break the bar in half. But I mean, it's good, so it wouldn't do that. Anyways,
I just, as an Ifrit, I just kind of stare at Andrew's character for a minute. But I say nothing. Because even with an intelligence of 8, I know that's not a genie.
yeah.
So what's the nightlife like around here?
I was actually gonna kind of say, this spectacle does kind of like cause a commotion in the bar until like they're like, oh, someone just took a shot of wild magic tequila, and then it kind of like people go back to their own conversations. You asking the dwarf what the nightlife is like around here?
Yeah.
Well, I
Dolan's
mean,
over
it
there talking with the patrons.
depends. If you want to get smashed, there's always here. People like to party. There are also several clubs further into the city. We tend to, shy away from some of those more namby-pamby religious folks. I've given up on his accent, by the way. I can't continue.
There's no accent necessary. Just there's a couple of clubs in town.
Yeah, a couple. I mean, and there's, a theater, a coliseum, everything you'd expect in a major city.
Wow, those sound like fun. Are they rather popular?
Yeah, popular among some of the richer folk.
Ah. Well, drinking it is then.
Yep, they might have finer booze, but we can outdrink them any day. And he just like takes another keg and just like slams
Yeah, I'll
it on
drink
the
to that,
table.
bud. As I drink the nondescript drink that came with my meal.
Yeah.
Alright. I am back.
You get
Hey,
what
Zach, you
they
missed the
lack in
unicorn.
quality here at the Booze Brothers, they make up for in quantity.
I just realized I'm kind of a dumbass. I forgot to transition what the stream was seeing.
Let's go.
I know,
Let's
right?
go!
Blindfolded stream.
Yup.
Woohoo. They missed the unicorn.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I had the
Well, they
most
could
brilliant
listen to the
unicorn
unicorn.
token. I
They-
can't
Yes,
believe
you guys missed it.
deprived.
He drew it himself.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was the best piece of art I've
Look
ever
at my
created.
horse. My horse is amazing.
How could you deprive the stream of that wonderful token, Zach? All right. Memes aside.
All token of Jeff.
That's his name now.
Yep. Okay, NPC, your name's now Jeff. You've been renamed by the party. Congratulations. So how long do you spend at the bar top, kind of like chatting with this dwarf, Logan? Just
Probably a good 20 minutes.
all right. Somewhere in the middle of your conversation, he kind of like interjects and says, I don't think I ever caught your name. Mine's Malgus. One in the back is
Malgus.
Tharman, my brother.
And you guys work with Dole?
Look, we work with him, yeah. He's actually kind of like, as long as we feed him, he just kind of hangs around.
Is he pretty good for security?
You wouldn't believe how many times I've had to replace that damn window. And he just kind of points to this window here, and it's obviously just like boarded over, and it's been boarded over so many times that it just looks like a patchwork of boards.
Maybe instead of a window, you should just do one of those old-timey saloon
doors?
saloon doors you can just chuck someone out of and then board up at night.
That's a really good idea. He kind of like pulls a notepad out from under the countertop and scribbles it down.
Now, Dole might not like that, though, so my guess is as soon as you do that, he's just going to start throwing patrons through the other window.
What do you mean he won't like it? He'll see a door flopping as soon as he throws one out of there.
I'm sure I can convince him. It'll take a bit of effort, but
Alright, well, I'll make sure to keep an eye out for that if that ever ends up happening.
Oh, also, never get him drunk.
Never
He's a
get it drunk.
mean drunk.
Got it. What if I
And the
promise him to
dwarf,
go
like-
drinking later?
Do
What's his
you
memory
have, like,
like?
friends I could tell to come to your funeral? Are you o-
What's his memory like? Will he remember if I offered?
Probably not. But, you know, maybe just, like, get him some water.
Okay, yeah. Can he taste the difference?
I can't tell, but he's never complained.
All right. Well, when he comes up after, when does his shift end?
I mean, as I was saying, we haven't really hired him. He just kind of hangs around. So just, like,
Oh, okay, okay. Well then, I'll take it that you're the owner.
yeah. As I was
Awesome.
saying, my brother's in the back. It's kind of in the name.
I didn't catch the name of the inn, actually. It was insert name here.
It's the Booze Brothers.
Okay, the Booze Brothers is the name of the inn.
Yes. So,
The, this mac and cheese is great. Your brother seems to be a rather good cook.
roll a bluff check.
Oh, I mean, hey, let me go back then. What does the food taste like?
It's not good. Like, the mac and cheese is subpar, but I mean, the meat's fine. It's kind of the highlight.
So they're
But,
better
like,
at cooking meat than anything else.
calling that cheese is a little generous.
I'll roll the bluff check. Oh no! I say through gritted teeth and tears in my eyes.
He kind of like leans over. Look, don't tell my brother I said this, but like, you can just throw that out. I know it's not good.
I just
I'll ask for another drink to wash it down.
say the meat's not bad, but yeah.
There's a reason it's on the bottom of the menu. And he'll just tap. He'll pour you another glass,
Thanks.
another mug.
And I guess I'll just keep sitting here making idle chat, see if he's any bits of information he likes to give out about the town or whatever else, while the rest of the party's supposedly going to start interacting with the bar patrons that are about to get the shit beat out of them.
Listen, Talara's just looking at herself in her mirror. Like, kind of preening a little bit after she finished her food.
Yeah. I mean, the others are, it's a rowdy bar, but there's not like a, imminent bar brawl. The rest of you can finish like the mediocre meal and head up to your lodgings if you have nothing else to do, or you could.
I want to ask how much for a keg.
Oh goodness. Let me lean over my book again, and then figure
Now, is
out how
all
many
of this
gallons are in a
alcohol for
keg.
you? Or do you intend on sharing it?
Well,
Keg sizing information. Alright, so like a full-size keg is like apparently 8 gallons, which would run you around like 16 silver pieces. Apparently. I'm doing some rough math, and that's like of ale.
got it. I'm buying it. Oh, I said like, I'll take a keg.
He kind of glances at you.
I'm not paying for that.
I was
know.
really tempted to say paper or plastic, but that's so bad. So I'll just. He goes over there.
Gold or silver?
Gold or platinum?
That's funny. I rolled a strength check and just like. It's mediocre. So.
Hey, Alec or Andrew, you know who would like a drink?
What have I. Hold
You?
on.
No.
Am I like.
You see that orc in the middle of the tavern? Think you could outdrink him?
I'm
like-
going to leave.
I think that if
Yeah,
between you and
yeah.
Cody, you could probably outdrink him.
Talara starts noticing some trouble happening and just kind of drags Anya to the room.
Alright, I don't have like an actual inn setup, so just like
Yeah.
put the ones that are in the rooms over there.
I mean, what's
Anyways.
this back here?
I was gonna say that middling strength check was him trying to like pick up a keg, but eventually he'll just motion for Andrew to pick it up and take it to wherever he wants.
I'll take it to the table. I want to just point at Cody. You, me, now. I want to pour our first drink and just slam it.
All right. Cody, do you take up Andrew's offer on, like a drinking contest, or are you just? I mean, it's
It's a rematch.
To rematch.
Yeah, I'm good.
all right. Then go ahead and just roll me a series of, contested
I mean, it's
fortitude checks.
16 gallons. There's no way you guys drink 16 gallons. You should invite some friends.
I think
That
it's
motherfucker.
8 gallons, but still.
Eight
8
gallons.
gallons of-
Let's
It's
invite some
quite-
random patrons from the bar to compete with you guys.
History repeats itself. Eh?
History. Wait, where's me? Potato.
Oh, you guys are going good.
Sorry, I had to hop AFK for like 10 seconds. So, yeah, both of you are with that high of a fortitude check, impressively just like downing one after another, and neither of you are showing signs of slowing down. And you're a few glasses or a few mugs in at this point. Go ahead and roll me another one.
Cody with the wrong pipe.
Yeah, pretty much what happens here is Doth is just continuing, just like slamming back, pints like they're shots. And Cody, eventually, you're like kind of trying to keep up with the pace, and some of it just goes down the wrong pipe, and you end up just like sputtering, and it's a pretty awful scene. You just kind of like choke and spill your beer everywhere.
Cody's down 2.
Yeah. You're not like super, out of it yet, but that took a toll. Go ahead and roll me one more set of fortitude checks. All right. At this point, Andrew, you're in a little bit, but you're still holding up just fine. And Karakos, you've made a pretty graceful recovery. You're, keeping up and even exceeding Doth at some points in this next little leg. So one more.
Why are you guys all rolling the really high checks now?
It's kind of
'Cause
astonishing,
they don't
really.
matter.
Because they don't matter.
Because Andrew doesn't want to save his luck until the next encounter he rushes into.
Yeah.
Uh,
Burn it all.
I mean, you're I mean, it's a DC like 15, so you're all just continuing to chug. Okay,
Booty
that
Let's
finally
go.
spells it out.
That's a nat 2.
Yeah, Doth just keeps on going and going and going. Cody, you keep up with him for a little while, and then eventually near the end, you have to kind of slow back down. Having like completely choked on that last, a few rounds ago is kind of starting to affect you, and eventually you have to call it quits before you just black out on the floor.
As Cody rolls another check and blacks out on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another failure. You black out on the floor.
Alright.
It's like victory has been achieved.
All right,
I yelled to Doth to clean up after himself.
It's like, okay.
really cleaning up after Cody. 'cause
No,
he
I'm telling
got
him to clean up Cody.
Oh, I see.
So Cody's blackout. Knocked out. What do I do with Cody? I'm gonna ask for suggestions.
Well, the thing is, unless you can carry both Cody and the ale, you got to pick one to carry here.
How much ale's left?
Oh goodness. I mean, with that many successes, you guys were going at it for like quite some time, so I'd say you don't have much left. It's pretty nearly empty.
I want to say to the table next to us, here, the rest is free. Enjoy.
All right. I mean, there's enough for a couple of pints, so they kind of give you a cheer and raise their glasses and say thanks.
I'm just gonna pick up Cody and drag him up the stairs.
Make sure to bonk his head on every stair.
No, I'm just gonna drag him by the foot
Thump, thump.
across the ground. So whether he gets splinters, that's his own fault.
And let me just, for the sake of it, that's honestly surprising. At some point, near the end of your discussion with the dwarf, Logan,
Yes.
Dole kind of wanders back over. Later now, drink.
I look at
He
the barkeep.
remembered.
I look at the barkeep. I say, "All right, barkeep, one ale." As the barkeep hopefully knows, don't give him ale.
He gives you a very like obnoxiously obvious wink, and he serves you both a pint of water just to be safe.
That's good, yeah. And I'll drink the water and kind of just ask Dole a couple of basic yes or no questions.
Oh, curses. I wish Cody was still awake.
I say, Dole, do you like fighting?
Yes, but only sometimes.
That's good. You gotta have some restraint. Dole, can I be your friend?
You know, I don't think we've really known each other for that long, and it's kind of inappropriate for you to be at.
Okay, the music cut out right when you started saying
It
that
did.
too.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Do you want that to be his proper response?
I'll just go ahead, run with it.
It's
I should've
okay.
listened.
Can we be acquaintances?
Yes.
That's great. All right. Well, do you have any questions for me?
Why are you so hairy?
Well, I'm a girl, you see, and girls have lots of hair. You see, I've got nice, long, silver hair.
Okay.
Why are
should
you
just
so
point
big?
at me and say, "Now this guy's hairy."
That's a good. He doesn't even notice you. He's got like literally a 5-foot like
Tunnel
bubble
vision.
around him at all times.
Nice.
Why are you so big, Dole?
Why are you so small?
Great question. I wish I fucking knew. All right, Dole. Well, come see me if you ever have any questions or need someone to talk to. As I'm
Okay.
hoping he finishes his drink and walks away.
He takes another pint of water from the barkeep, slams it down, and just walks off.
was
It's
like, oh.
it's kind of an odd sight because you see him as he's like taking, glasses from these people, or traveling to and fro with like a waiter's,
Yeah.
platter. He's surprisingly dexterous. He's just slow
Dumb.
on the uptake.
I tell the barkeep thanks for warning me about that, and thanks for putting up with me for the evening, and then I'll go retire to the room.
All right.
Yup.
Righty, does everyone else do that?
Yes, everyone
Yeah.
else. These two headed up.
This was a major thing that we could have selected at the beginning of coming to this city, and I'm curious where the plot hook is.
Before the night officially ends, when me and Duff go to our room, I'd like to ask Duff for something.
Okay.
As we're about to as you're about to get into I guess to sleep, and I'm writing my letter, I would ask, have you been working with Miyu for very long?
Define long.
Define Mew.
Well,
Fine,
how
you.
well do you know her? That is what I like to know.
She is someone will help me conquer an island.
Conquer an island.
But I guess revenge is a better word for it.
Revenge. Okay. And you're doing all this work for her in that case, right? Voluntarily.
Yes.
Have you seen her ever use anyone without their? You know what? I think that's enough. Good night.
I
Okay.
love how like Trouble's concept, or like not, or what's it called? Perspective of me who is like just getting twisted.
Don't worry. He still doesn't know if he got the truth or the lie.
I like that that like Trouble is just a paladin stuck in the middle of a whole bunch of very
Questionable.
chaotic characters.
Yeah.
Because now Doth's talking revenge. The only thing he knows about Laro is something very horrifying to him, considering he checked to see if she was evil.
fair. Wow, I misspelled that word in my notes. All right. Never mind. Anyways, the lodging here is like definitely not that great. It's kind of just like the crumb. I was gonna make a Motel 6 joke, but that's kind of like, you know, it's a crummy lodging. The bed is kind of like lumpy and the rooms are small, but it gets you through the night. So,
Long rest.
yep, go ahead and long rest. So I think
I just want to let known Cody's sleeping on the floor.
Okay,
you leave him.
so
I'm like,
Look out! I don't care.
yeah,
does-
it's like,
so we don't recover all of our hit points from long rest.
No, I was gonna go through that. Logan, you regain a hit of or a point of Constitution if you're still down any.
I just did that. Yep.
All right, and then everyone heals their level plus their Constitution modifier.
so 2 plus
So 5
Ouch.
whole hit points. Ooh.
3 points.
Yep, that's not great.
You have a con mod of 1 as a barbarian? What's wrong
Yeah.
with you? Okay.
Because I got charisma. I can
I
talk.
guess that's fair.
If anyone would like some healing before the night ends, do ask.
This is true.
I would appreciate some of that. I
Yeah.
could take
Considering
a
I'm
D6
now
or whatever.
sitting at 5 out of 16, I would appreciate some of that too.
Oh yeah, I would
Okay,
say
here,
throughout this
1,
entire night, you're all
2,
just like
3.
beat to shit at the bar. By the way.
First come, first serve. Grab the best roll you want.
Yeah,
Well, I
give me
mean-
3.
Take 2.
I mean, can we take only 1 per person, or does anyone else need healing?
I'll step in and just say
distribute
don't.
Keep laying hands evenly.
Probably you don't need to worry about it because there's a story beat which requires a few days of downtime, so you'll be able to heal to full before the next major thing happens, I think.
Okay.
Rachel takes the 1 and the 2 then, and I'll take the 3, and we just heal 3 and 3.
I'll take the 1 if Rachel takes the 2.
Here, Nick, you take the 3, and I'll take the 1.
Do they add your charisma to that, Nick,
Sounds
or is it
good.
just a d6?
Cool, I'm
I
at
d-
full. No, it's just a d6.
Okay, I wanted to just double check because I wasn't sure.
If charisma modifier influences how many I have.
Ah, understandable. Okay. Cool. So you guys pass the night.
Oh my Mio, sorry, Eeyore just doesn't like you very much today. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll get over this eventually, I'm sure. I can't think of a joke to involve slavery right now, so I'm just kind of starting for words here, Nick.
Okay.
That's out of character, by the way.
Yes.
I figured.
Just making sure you're
I was
aware.
Not 100% sure, so thank you for clarifying.
You just
I guess you
get
said
right
Nick
there.
instead of Trouble, but still. All right, so the night passes after Trouble has done a little bit of lay on handing. So, the morning comes. Nothing seems particularly out of the ordinary. What is the party's plan?
I plan to mail some letters first of all. Then I'll speak to, probably speak with a party to a guy at the magic store.
Okay. I mean, Trouble kind of gives off the vibe to me that he wakes up at the crack of dawn, but I don't know if that's how you.
I got
wanna-
that ring that helps me wake up at sunrise.
Yep. Okay. So, depending on when the rest of you wake up, Trouble might have several hours to go about his business.
Yeah, he probably does. Telara's not waking up until like 8 o'clock at minimum.
All right. So I'll just say, Nick, you have enough time to kind of ask around, find where the couriers are, and go deliver your letters to them.
Lovely.
And you head back to the inn. Presumably? Or did you want to go to the Rhyming Mantle alone?
I would accompany you to the Rhyming Mantle if we're up at that point.
I'll keep an eye on the party until enough of them are awake, I guess.
All right. For the sake of ease, I'll just say a few more hours pass by and the party is rousing from their slumbers. Unless anyone wants to stay in bed for super late, then just all of you awake at around the same time. Probably all you.
You're
I was just gonna say maybe, unless like we really want to just T-pose Charlie, maybe Anya could just stay in the room.
I'll just have him, chill with the rest of the party.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll
In the
compliment
background.
those muscles and workout routine.
What?
He says thanks, and just kind of like you get the same vibe that I was telling Logan. This man is not smart.
Mhm.
He does not really spoke unless spoken to, and when spoken to, his responses are short.
You look big, strong. I can
just-
respect.
As soon as you kind of like dumb it down, you just see a big toothy grin.
I'll give a wave to Dull as I approach Trouble.
I give a nice slam on my chest with my fist and a peace sign as I head out to Dill.
So was this in the early morning?
Yeah,
Okay. So-
just having a bit of a fun chat with Dill, talking about exercise routines. Speaking of
His exercise
routines, I
routine
gotta find,
consists of existing.
He's just
I
bench
guess-
pressing like 2 kegs in the
uh,
back of the bar. Joking, of course, but you know. Anyways, I'll just, time skip to when the rest of the party is kind of getting up, unless anyone else has anything else that they want to do before the main activities of the day.
Nope.
No worries here.
All right, let's move the rest of you out of the rooms then. Cody, you're not like super blacked out because you didn't end the night on a crit fail, but you wake up and you're hungover,
Okay.
having a bit of a, bad time in the morning, but you shake it off. You're not like taking any statistical debuffs, but
Rocco's, maybe they've got a cure for hangover at the magic store. Come on, let's go.
all right. So you guys head back over to the rhyming mantle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um,
Is he back?
it's surprisingly like empty when you first enter, just because it's not exactly in like the peak business hours, but there is kind of like a small actually I need to double check something. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. So you first kind of all walk into the like kind of open store, and there's nobody inside. But after a few more minutes, an odd sight greets those of you that are like paying enough attention, as Tebnet kind of just steps out from seemingly thin air.
When you say thin air, like behind a curtain, or like invisible and all of a sudden visible?
Not like he pops into existence like a teleport, but like if a curtain was like invisible, so you could not see what was behind it, and he just walked into it, so you kind of see him like phase in, like dial-up style. But
Does he immediately notice us, I assume?
Yep. He's wearing a grin on his face as he exits, and he'll say, well, hello, folks.
It's got you in such a great mood today, Tebnet.
Well, you see, I did a bit of research. Came across something I found rather interesting.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
you're the researchy type.
Well, you never know. In fact, well, first things first, and he pulls up the sleeves of many garments. I heard
Ah.
you're interested in these.
I see you have done your research. Well, you see, I think that to you, having money in the bank is probably a lot more valuable to you than having some item that people really only want for changing clothes. I think it's just going to have a very select clientele, and that opening up that spot on your display case for some more...
He just cuts you off and sighs. What's your offer?
I tell him that I'll give him all the money or the platinum back, so that it'd be the
Be
10 platinum
100.
pieces. Yep, that's 100 platinum pieces or 100 gold pieces back in the bank, and that I'd throw in another, or I'm willing to negotiate, starting from an additional 50 gold on my end.
All right. So, we'll start with your offer at 150 gold pieces and mine at 200. I think we know where this is going to end up, but if you'd like to take the long way around, I'll sell
Well,
it to you
let's,
for 275. Not 200, 175. My bad.
I gladly accept his offer, as I ask if he knows anything about where he got the item from.
This is a weird fellow. Came in from overseas one time. Fairly recently, actually, only a month or two ago.
Really? Do you happen to know what they looked like? Rather tall, short, were they humanoid?
He was
Or were
a
they-
humanoid. He didn't really stand out all that much from what I do remember. I don't really keep track of everyone that sells me stuff.
Was he wearing extremely fancy clothing? Or was he more of a scholar type?
He did seem kind of... I don't know how you'd put this, like...
Exquisite?
Yeah, that's a good way.
Wonderful. I'm rather fond of that individual's work, if I'm remembering him correctly.
Oh, interesting. And while you're having this conversation, you see as he takes the sleeves of many garments, kind of removes them from whatever display they were in, and runs his hands over them before handing them to you.
I make an that would be a knowledge arcana, which I don't actually have the skill for.
All right. I mean, you intuit that he's doing some sort of magical shit to it, but you don't really know what.
I ask him if they're ready to go and if I'm going to be zapped as I leave the store.
He gives a knowing grin and says, taken care of. He folds them up nicely and hands them to you.
Oh, he was remembering the security tag.
Pretty much.
Basically, yeah. I tell
There's
him,
a
"Thank
reason
you
not
very
many
much."
things in this in this shop are, guarded.
I'll actually direct trouble to him. Yeah, because I think you had something you wanted to discuss with him, didn't you?
Yes, actually.
I'll thank him for his business and call us if there's any issues with our work, and we'll fix them as necessary.
Well, I guess I'll talk with Nick first, but
Yeah.
he'll stop you if you try to leave. Just like put a hand out and say, hey, stick around.
All kind of peruse.
You said you were doing some research, dear Tubnut.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've been involved with the church. I've kind of been on the outskirts recently, so I didn't really know 100% of what was going on, but, decided to take a little bit of a peek. I actually...
Yes, I noticed you as I was passing through there myself. I was trying to do some research as well. You see.
Take it not
Covertly,
very...
I assure you. Discreetly, I mean.
I take it you weren't very successful. From what I could tell, the first 3 floors had been pretty thoroughly scrubbed.
My goodness. So you went to a 4th?
I did. I'm surprised you know that I could get there. Might have to have a chat with my cashier.
Just
I mean-
Well, I mean, if he said the first 3 floors were scrubbed.
That's fair.
I insist it was a lucky guess. Sure, roll bluff.
Roll a bluff.
All right.
Come on,
Do I
Nick.
even have
Don't
bluff?
sell out Owen.
Where is bluff? There it is.
Okay.
Not bad.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is one of those NPCs that is extremely over-leveled and we just don't want to fight, but let's hope that we can actually beat his,
I mean, I rolled a 2,
check.
so... Even with a plus, 16. Yeah, no, he does
I'm
not
sure
have a
we
plus
could share a
16.
good laugh over this.
He kind of gives a chuckle and says, I'm sure. Lucky guess, I suppose. Regardless, speaking of that, I have a bit of interesting bit of info that might interest you. I don't really know, even with what I could find in the library or the archive, it was being kept rather tightly under wraps, but I do know someone that might know something, and I might know how to get you in contact with them if you so desired.
I heard it would have to be by reference that I get this information anyway, and I do appreciate your assistance with this.
You see, it's been a little while since I've been on the inside, but I still have a couple of old friends, and one of them will be in town in a couple of days even. if you want to stick around and do one more little favor for me, I might be able to arrange an introduction.
That would depend on what it is, I suppose, but I'd be very happy to, as long as it's something within our bounds, I suppose. I look to a party. Or at least mine, anyway.
Alright. And at this point, he'll kind of like gesture for Miu and the rest of you to kind of come over. And he says,
Really quick,
go ahead.
for just fun, can I roll perception to see if I see anything from the diarchy? And then, like, it can be yes or no in the description later, but like,
Like an item wise?
yeah, like just to see it, like, because Tolara is bored, so she's either looking for something fire related or from her home.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Roll either knowledge arcana or perception.
Yeah!
You
I
spend
have +4 to this, which means
you roll a 2.
my Yep.
You spend a little bit of time. You're not sure if you're just in the wrong proverbial aisle, but kind of weird. Knowing what you know from your homeland, you're surprised. There's a lot of stuff from like the northern magocracy, obviously, because they kind of just pump out magic items, but the diarchy is still a pretty big, bit of trade. So it's surprising that you don't find much from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry, I just, for fun, I was like,
It's all good. But he'll gesture all of you over again, and as part of that conversation with Talaro, he says, I'm thankful that you managed to mop up my, latest mistake, and that does, to some extent, prove that you are not going to just die, which is nice. Oh, I should have warned you. I had already sent about 2 or 3 people over there. They never came back. My
do you
mistake.
think those are those fire skeletons we
Yeah.
saw?
So that's
Oh.
what happens when you get killed to them. Yeah, I had a had a bit of a roll that I started explaining the fun little combat encounter we had where one of us got paralyzed for 10 minutes by the end of it.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow. Flaming skeleton. I didn't know that was a side effect. And then he just kind of like also jots something in a notebook. He seems to kind of like pick up almost like a scientific interest in just what was happening because he didn't see it with his own eyes. However, he'll say, now I have another job that, well, someone's been kind of bothering me to take up. I haven't exactly had the time, and it seems to be rather minor. If you guys could take care of that with me, I could always make sure that the gold keeps flowing, and I could maybe set up an introduction with someone that might be able to get you the info you want.
Sounds great.
Lovely. As long as we have all the information in hand this time, I suppose.
Well, you see, the person that wants me to take care of it says that they were doing a bit of messing about with a certain type of magic, the type that crosses planes. Accidentally might have summoned a few minor devils or demons, I'm not entirely sure.
Nothing we can't handle.
Those are dealable.
Well,
I
at least
mean-
I can manage it.
He told me they were minor, so I presume you'll be fine. If not, just run back and let me know. If it's worse, then I'll go deal with it, but I'd really rather not. It's a little bit out of my way.
Where is out of your way?
Mine are like imps or more hellhounds, like.
Didn't quite say, only that it was a summoning gone wrong.
I see, okay.
If you live to tell the tale, though.
Yeah, which gives me the implication that they're not exactly, the hunt you down and slay you and destroy everything in the world type deal.
Ones who prefer to thrive
Promising.
and cause chaos, I suppose.
Regardless, and he'll just take like a nearby, or even your copy of the proverbial world map and just mark out a location. It's different than the old, ruined church he sent you to, but it's still several hours out of town.
Like a day trip.
Kind of, yeah. It'd be like 4 or 5 hours there and then 4 or 5 hours back.
Micro Center, here we come.
You wouldn't
That's what
happen
I was
to-
thinking.
You wouldn't happen to sell holy water here, would you?
I might be able to find a bottle in the back, but I don't exactly trade in it. There's enough of it here that you could probably, spit and find some.
Where exactly should I spit?
there's the cathedral district. The place is practically flowing with it.
You're right.
Just pretty much any of them might have it. I would recommend, and he'll mark out one of the cathedrals on like a city map, and say, go to the Ever-Beating Heart. They have the good stuff.
Stebnet.
And oh, now I have to actually go and like find a gold reward, but he was going to offer to also pay you. What do you say we make it another 700 gold for the party, plus I'll see what I can do about that introduction.
Sounds good.
Nick, that
Wonderful.
sounds good to you?
That sounds wonderful, and I appreciate your participation in this as well. Though I'm sure it's still paid nonetheless. I do personally appreciate it.
Alright. Well, you're welcome to stay around and peruse. I'm going to go back to the back.
Do you have any different items in stock?
It's only been a day, so no.
No. All right.
Delara kind of hesitates for a moment and goes, like, you can tell, aside from her normal, like, impulsive behavior, she's trying to choose her phrasing carefully and says, you know, in my travels, I've seen many shops with magical items. To my knowledge, the diarchy. She gives the full name. I never remember the
Diarchy
full
of
name.
Rontia.
Yeah. To my knowledge, the diarchy of Rontia is also well known for magical items. But I think I perhaps missed any from that might be in your shop.
Ah, you were looking in aisle 6, they're over in aisle 2.
As we peer over into aisle 2.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be aisle
that's how I'm
3
going to explain
technically?
your bad perception check, is it's just you were looking in the wrong spot in the store.
Oh, of course, just my luck.
I mean, there's a big sign. And he just takes a snide joke. But well,
I draw in the air kind of so that only you can see it, the number 8.
I see. And he, after giving a kind of like little head nod, seems to disappear from whence he came. And you hear kind of just echoing from where you think he should have been standing, if you need anything, just call out. I'll be back.
He's gone?
Yep.
Can I make a perception check?
Go ahead. He's
Freaking
gone.
vanished. He's gone. I kind of nudged Daraka on the side. We got to learn that.
Very much so. Yes.
And do we want to go back to the library or wherever to figure out what this symbol that we found in the church was?
It could be worth a trip, but up to you, I suppose.
Or we can go to the cathedral district and just walk around until we find it.
That too. Since we do want to pick up holy water. I could do that while you guys do visit the Church of Hearts.
Right, so
I would say very notably, like even in your hour of, looking over, and you had kind of looked at all of like the current hours, you've never seen that symbol before.
Damn.
do we have to speak to a specialist?
Maybe.
Any chance I
Probably
could
shouldn't
reroll
ask
my
the
religion
dude.
check?
Did you roll one already?
I think I might have. Oh well.
It's yeah, I mean, for one thing, it's kind of beyond the character's knowledge at the moment, though.
No problem.
Now that she has been directed to the correct aisle, is there anything like particularly interesting about the things he has from the diarchy?
It's interesting in that a lot of them are like, there are vials of alchemist's fire, but there are also like magic items that aren't really like arcane, but more like steampunk. They would accomplish the same stuff, but not actually through magic. Instead, it uses like complicated machinery. I don't have like a list because I didn't have one prepared, but the
No,
main
that's fine.
difference is like the diarchy is more like steampunk tech, and the meritocracy is like more pure arcane stuff.
She definitely is entranced by the alchemist fire for a little bit, but
Oh, I mean, I guess actually one thing that you would probably notice, especially after having traveled with Cody, is there's like specifically a section that just sells just like more advanced rifles. But
Cody,
they're
there's a gun store.
shoot, my country is the gun country.
yeah,
Cody,
but they are
Frick.
I think he's in
Cody,
the
get
back.
out here.
They are exceedingly expensive.
I guess I'll look for Cody. What kind of prices are we talking about for what kind of benefit?
If he wanted to buy one without making it, it would be beyond his reach. I think like a basic musket is like 4,000 gold pieces. They're ridiculous. So it would be like he would have to basically buy a longsword and then have a couple of successful craft checks. And maybe also like, I mean, he's got a pistol right now, so he would want to like craft presumably like a broken musket, similar to what he has as starting gear. So I'll have to figure that out and talk it through with him.
All right, well, let's just not let Cody know that this is a gun store.
We can tell Cody my country, the diarchy is gun country though. That'll be funny.
You sure it's not the Montanian League?
Sadly. The Montanian League is literally the scraps. I had nothing left in my brain, and there was still a space to fill.
Montanian League it is.
Yep. Which is why
Largest
I'm glad
importer of guns.
Yeah, no one chose to be born there.
Yeehaw.
Regardless, that about wraps up what I had planned for the Rhyming Mantle. Tebnet has one little tiny quest for you to go on.
Little tiny quest.
It really is rather small, but
6 hours later.
any
No,
preferences?
we are healing up first. I'm only at half health.
Oh, that's
I
a good
can
point.
roll a few more health die.
Like, sorry, I'm below half health. I'm at 7 out of 16.
You know, I should check something. Because
Wow.
I mean,
Hey, there you go.
You're looking much better.
Okay.
What's the extra hit point?
Anyone else low? Zach? What do you
Yeah,
at?
I'm still low. I'm still 8 down.
Pick
So
the
who's
point.
taking
For
the
the sake
6?
of it,
You're taking the 6 and the 3, Rachel, to get to full.
Yep,
Okay.
when
I'll take the point.
I would say actually instead of wasting your lay on hands, Nick.
Mm.
No, Tebnet, seeing that you guys all kind of came in beat to crap after completing what he had asked you to, will start to cast his own little spell to do a little bit of helping, because he probably doesn't use all of his spell slots. So let's figure that out. Let me roll some stuff. That's okay.
Light cure wounds.
How do you
is going
GM
on.
roll something?
You click on GM in the dice
There's
option.
not
top
enough
left.
dice.
Slash GM?
Yeah, it's slash GM
Slash
roll.
GM. Okay. That works. How much were each of you down?
I'm
I was
down 2.
I mean, 9.
8.
So currently 19.
All right.
Cody, were you down at all?
Cody.
I'm down too, but like
21
Good
total
one.
then. Nick, were
I
you
think
down
I'm
any?
Still out from account. Sorry, what?
Were you
No,
down
I'm
any?
good after last night.
So I would say instead of using your lay on hands, before Tebnet actually tucks himself back and leaves the store, he will do a bit of glancing around. There's no one really else in the shop, so he puts one of his right hand to his chest and like grabs something, and does a quick little chant. And very quickly, the room starts just smelling of like wet dirt and forest. And rather rapidly, each of your wounds begins to close up and heal. And actually, I rolled well enough that all of you heal to full.
Does this
Mhm.
include cost or
It
ability
does
score
not affect
damage?
your. It's not like a restoration. It's just you heal to full.
He feels
Fun.
bad after we told him there were flaming skeletons.
Yeah, I mean, he told you to do like an errand for him, and you came back like beaten half to death. So, and he's a good enough person that he would help. So, try not to die, and then he'll fade back into non-existence again.
Thanks, Tabnet.
I would say Nick, you recognize that he's at least some type of cleric.
Though not directly employed anymore, it seems. So that's interesting.
Oh yeah,
Regardless,
clerics are
that will-
busted. This is awesome.
They're busted in 5e. Less so in here, but
Still a full caster.
fair enough. Regardless, that's it for him. So he'll send you off, and now you don't have to waste your healing abilities or stall because timeline. So, are you guys going to try to rent horses or just walk?
I exist.
What is the
we're
plan
fine.
to move out of town?
How far out is it? A couple hours by walking or horseback?
It would be a couple of hours on horseback or a 5-hour walk.
I say the 5-hour walk.
Mhm.
Save money from horses.
All right.
Horses are for rich people.
If I really want to get horses later, I'll just get an animal companion beast for my divine bond.
You're not bringing a horse on my ship.
Don't worry, I can summon a will.
All right.
Summon
So,
it at will on the ship.
Or better yet, a boar.
That's a good one.
So you can help out in combat.
Trouble and I are just talking animals on our way on our 5-hour walk then.
you guys all group up and start out the walk.
I'll tell you stories of some high-level paladins I trained with who summoned actual elephants and tigers during training.
I sit there and just ooh and ah for the entire 5 hours.
And as I was saying, I mean, it takes a pretty decent amount of time, and you probably started around 9 or 10 o'clock, which means it's around 2 or 3 in the afternoon when you get there. So noon is well past at this point. I would
Consuming
say
a
you-
ration.
Yeah, probably. At least one for the whole day. So everyone consume a ration. And I would say Tebnet has gotten you like in the ballpark, but to actually like find the finer details, there's not actually like a village or a town out here. It seems like another one of those ruins. So go ahead and roll me either a maybe a
Is there
survival
a
check.
map we're supposed to be on?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Survive.
You're in the general area, but finding the actual like spot he's expecting you to go to is proving difficult.
Are we all rolling survival, or are we doing the 3?
I would do 2.
Okay, well, I do not have points in survival.
Neither do I.
Riley's got good survival.
I will see if I can.
I have some as well, so I'll take the other one. So I
Oh,
just can't
That's
roll.
a 4 plus 3.
oh yeah.
Come
Charlie
on,
does
Charlie.
not have great survival. He's got a +2. Anyone else?
What about knowledge in nature? That's what he was good at, wasn't it?
I would also, I guess Daraka, if you wanted to knowledge local, just to like, that's
Zach,
kind of
how many points do you have in knowledge local?
Probably not enough. I've got a +3.
Alright, I've got a +6.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh
Alright.
no.
I would say that's it takes you an extra hour. You kind of are just like rooting through, kind of like cursing that he didn't give you exact, coordinates or exact, directions. But
Man has a
eventually,
problem with specificity.
there's a theme here. Eventually,
Building
you
a
stumble
specific
upon.
amount is the gold we get.
Look, just because he's not specific with thing, that doesn't mean he can't be specific with numbers. I forgot to move all of you onto the map, so let me go grab your tokens.
numbers right. Like, how many goddamn giant bone serpents there were?
It's like 2 or 3.
That's what he said. Yes.
There's a variance.
There just also happen to, be
Hold on, I
fire
gotta move
things.
Charlie out of a wall.
Well, he did know about that side effect.
This
Heard
is
of-
tiny. This scares me.
We
So-
notice anything about it from further away?
You basically stumble upon a collapsed couple of story tower. It seems like only one, maybe 1.5 stories remain, and there's a large amount of rubble just off to this side that is not actually on the map, but I should put it there.
Hit him, Nick.
Okay, I scanned the first floor.
Also,
It's
Alex,
just
did you
motion
put on the
junction.
Pathfinder distancing?
I did not. Thank you for the reminder. I really hate that it defaults. Pathfinder save settings. See if that works. Regardless, where did... Wait, what happened? Oh,
Yeah, it worked.
God, something's bugged. I gotta refresh. I just, like, half the map disappeared, and it's a small map to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes like the bottom half of the map, just like if you're like zoomed out or
Yeah,
wrong.
no, as I was zooming out, it was zooming out and just, like, cutting off tiles, so...
Yeah, it does that. It was a pain when I was making my own maps.
Gotcha. Alright, everybody's back. Okay. So, trouble. Let me pull that up. I mean, they are... You sense evil.
Alrighty. Is it
Second
big
round, second round, you sense the positions of the evil, I believe.
Yes.
Right. You sense there are 4
No,
sources. of evil.
Actually, third round would be the power and location.
Okay.
Second round would be number of evil auras.
Cool.
The first
Second
round
round.
is presence.
Second round, you sense 4. Third, you sense location. So you get
Yeah,
a general sense that there's one fairly close to the door, to the right side, and then you get the sense that there are 3 kind of near the back of where this tower ends.
We want to switch out Charlie and Andrew's character location.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, Charlie is just gonna T-pose.
Gonna relay that information to the rest of the crew.
Oh, and I guess I should have been a little bit more specific with the areas I revealed. There is a door here. But it's
Is
closed.
it closed? It is
Yes.
closed. All right.
So these aren't particularly powerful beings on this first floor, but
They're not
they-
overwhelming. I didn't do the math, but I think they're probably around moderate, is what I'd say.
well, they're not twice my level since they didn't make me stunned,
Yes.
at least. But there are 4 of them, and there's one watching the door here, apparently.
Can I approach
Send
the
out
door
a
quietly?
drone.
Yeah. I mean, you're all in the area already, but if you wanted to approach silently, you can do that.
I'll
Is
do
there
that
any
and I'll
other
listen at the
entrances
door.
around the building? Can we scout that out?
Is there any entrances around the building?
Besides
I
the door.
am the knight.
This is
I
the
smack my
only
head on the
entrance.
door.
So, Jaraka, you're tiptoeing up, and you're so silent that Miyu trips over you and just face plants into the door.
As I will immediately attempt to recover and say hello, as I smack my head against the door again. Anyone in there? As I make it sound like a knock.
I pull her
Um,
back from the door behind me. And pull her behind me as I get ready for the door to open.
It's not hard to... Well, actually, here's a question. Do anyone in the party speak Abyssal?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Let me double check.
I'm gonna go. No.
Not this character.
Yes, common and abyssal.
All right. So, everyone, you hear nothing. Nick, as soon as Miyu's face just like face plants into the door, there is just a cacophony of 4 demonic screams straight into your mind.
Like a scared scream?
No, like a... I don't know
Like
how to put
a
this without-
howling dog ready for food.
Yeah. Like they're demons that are ready to, throw down.
Say, oh well, no one's here, as I make loud footsteps and walk away.
Spoilers, they heard that. do I hear 4 voices by chance?
Hey, did we grab that holy water?
I would say
No.
roll me a. Oh shoot.
Perception?
We didn't
No.
say that we did,
Well,
and
that's
it was
because you
kind of
time
my
cut.
fault for. Yeah, I kind of pushed us. So I'll say you guys can pick it up if.
Okay.
But I
We'll use it as a last resort if we need it for anything.
sure
Demon
it was
blood
it was
rituals,
actually
whatever else.
kind of important. So we'll just say that for now, Charlie. You know what? Charlie just brings out a satchel. Hey, I went when you all closed your eyes. Haha.
Wow, way to go, Anya. That's so great of you.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had a good time.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
There we go. Plot restored.
Anyone
Um,
have any kind of fog spell that we can seep underneath the door?
Let me go ahead and just reveal like the outer walls here.
Well, they're already aware of our presence. I can hear them screaming in my mind. How many, by the way, can I tell, or do I have to roll
I
perception?
was gonna say roll perception to see if you can, because it's a cacophony. You know, it's more than one.
You said 4, didn't you?
I did say 4.
4 on the
This is to
first
figure out
floor.
if trouble can figure that out. The rest of the tower is essentially collapsed. You know that there's only like notably, the one oh well there we go. I had to scoot it a square, but the one in the middle is nearly at the top from when you first scanned. The other 2 at the back were ground level, and the third one was ground level here.
Ah,
You said the tower was collapsed, right?
Yes, mostly.
Could I attempt a climb check?
Yeah.
Zach, do you want to climb up the edge with me?
Oh,
Sure.
so I still
I
only
can do
heard
that.
4 voices in the end there? Or
Uh,
about? Or I
about
couldn't
4.
tell?
I'll get with the 16. You think you hear 4?
Alright.
So Zach, you propel me up to the top so that I can see, and then I'll reach down and help pull you up.
All right.
All right.
Do we
So I
need-
don't know how that
do we need
works.
dex
Or is that
checks?
acrobatics? That would be climb instead of. Well, climbing is strength, but acrobatics, I don't know. You want climb?
It would be climb.
So,
Okay.
Duff, you want to take this one again? Or...
Okay.
Zach is helping me or helping propel me up, and then I will help pull him up once I am up.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He doesn't.
Look at that 2.
He doesn't do a great job of helping you, but I mean, a 10 is average for a commoner, and you're scaling a pretty okay surface. So you managed to get up.
A stealth check if need, or a stealth if necessary.
Well, first I would say, roll a perception check as you're getting up there.
Look at these rolls. Wow.
So, I'll go
7
ahead and
for me.
reveal this chunk of area. You climb up to this square, presumably.
Yes.
And
And I'll also check the square immediately below me on the other side to make sure that I'm not on top of one.
Well, that would be nice, but one of them has been waiting there, and had rolled high enough on stealth that you could not have noticed him. You see a like.
Am I rolling stealth
bloated
as well? Though?
frame. You could, yeah.
All right. Zach, I'm gonna nat one real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, pretty decent. But you are kind of climbing up on a wall where it can see you, so.
Do I
I'll
need to
give you
re-stealth
a-
then as well?
I rolled a D80 or a D100 for perception.
That's not right.
Oh, but I did crit on my perception check, so that makes this cool. Let me open up this thing and see what happens.
Ruffle Logan.
Yeah, I know. But what was I gonna
So-
do? I guess I could have come up over here where I knew that there wasn't one, but
So you hop over this chunk of the wall after being assisted by Zach, and immediately you kind of just see a bloated demon form that kind of shudders with each large step. But despite its kind of like lumbering shape, it moves with kind of it's a surprising quickness. And as
Very
quickly as you kind of peek your head up, it immediately opens its jaw and unhinges in kind of an unhealthy looking way and just belches out a cloud of like green kind of fog, and it just
is this
fills.
is this a Dexter or a reflex save?
It is a interesting. Fortitude.
That's not what I wanted to hear. That's not what I wanted to see.
Not sure how to reflect yourself out of
I
climbing
have to
a
check
wall,
what
though.
its thing is. Would you rolled a 14? Hey, you actually passed. However,
Yes.
it is not only Mew that is getting hit because this bellowing cloud of gas seems to settle and immediately affects a 20-foot radius outside. Like it.
Excuse me.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.
So just as soon as you guys see Mew pop her head over, she gets blasted like in the face with just a massive cloud of like green fog gas, and immediately it just spreads out across the area and quickly affects each of you. So everybody, except for Mew, I guess, roll me a fortitude save.
Oh no. Can I burst
and-
into a building instead?
What else gonna roll?
I was checking.
Presuming Cody's still AFK, so I might roll his. Unless you're back, Cody?
I'm back.
Here's getting. Oh, okay, we're good.
You missed the guns.
Well, here's all
How
your
many
good
of us
rolls.
need to roll these?
Everybody.
Everyone.
Everyone.
We found out that the diarchy is steampunkish and makes guns.
Indeed. Literally everyone passes. Congratulations.
Whew.
What
I
happens
guess
on a
she-
failure or a
I
save?
guess you had a higher roll
Damage,
to
or-
take, considering range.
Okay. So for now, nothing seems to really happen.
Not this again.
Mew, from where you are at, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
A separate one.
Yeah, just for a... Alright. So after this cloud has settled, you have a pretty decent vantage point of the tower, so I will show... You can see the inside of here. The others cannot. And this actual room in the middle is still concealed, so you would not know of the presence, but you gather there was a fourth one, so it would be in presumably this room. But it's high enough wall that you can't really see.
I tell the party I see. They all look the same.
Yes.
I tell them I
It's-
see 3 creatures of the same type, and that one is in the close right corner, one's in the far back left corner, and there's one in the center courtyard.
And at this point, I would say everybody roll initiative.
And the square I'm in, it's not within engaging distance of the guy below me, is it?
If you wanted to drop on, like, you could engage on him pretty easily because you could just drop on his face, but he would have a more difficult time, you presume, getting up to you because you're up on a 10-foot wall.
So I could
Dang it,
theoretically
Nick.
run around him without triggering his.
What's up with you all? You're just like you
Here,
rolled
I'll solve.
trash last fight, and now it's just insane.
Look, we're just gonna
good.
steamroll now.
Alright, let me go ahead and roll the monsters initiative. Well, you
Go
see
first.
All right. So, okay, everyone, go.
All right, Nick, through the door.
Is the door that flimsy? Or can I just open it?
Charge.
I would say if you wanted to get through it, you'd have to attack it. It's
Oh.
well, I mean, you can try to open it first, but I would say you kind of
You
give it a
crit.
shove.
Yeah, I
And-
charge through it. Shoulder check it, maybe.
Roll me a strength check.
All right. Double crit.
Yeah, literally, Miyu, you kind of look down and you're about to open your mouth and tell Trouble that the door has been barred on the other side, and he just Kool-Aid mans straight through.
I'll keep my big mouth shut.
You gather either the wood was rotted or Trouble is just like actually, superhuman.
Probably both.
Do I still get my attack?
Yeah, you just charge straight to the door.
Cool.
I will say take the benefit of the charge, so +2 and -2 to AC.
Wonderful.
+2 to attack. That is.
That would be
19
19 to hit then.
Yeah, that hits.
Alrighty. 13 damage to that thing.
What are your damage types?
Slashing?
Alright. Okay. Roll me a knowledge religion.
Okay.
13.
It's the same roll I got last time, I think. No, wait. I think last time was lower.
Even, I mean, this is a really low DC. just to
Okay.
like remember your paladin training. You know that most demons and devils have damage resistance unless it's either silver, cold iron, or good. But you're not sure of this specific demon type. You just think, that strike should have done more than it did.
Hmm. Alright. I don't think that applies to me yet, because I don't think I have a high enough level for my weapon to count as good. Yet.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
So it's my turn.
Hold on. I actually never wrote down the initiative order, so I should do that.
Can I, for flavor, scream an abyssal?
Uh,
Prepare to meet your end? Something like that? Sure.
Yeah. I will say, the rest of you still hear nothing. Nick, you are constantly being just assaulted by a wave of abyssal telepathy that is just like screaming and, demon noises. But
They look feral enough, anyway.
so okay, let me sort through initiative real quick. It is Nick, Rachel, Zach, Nick, Rachel, Zach, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
That gets us down to 20.
By the way, this is what.
And then
when I'm
me.
not-
You,
we cut,
Cody.
we cut Andrew or Charlie. That's what I was missing.
Where's Cody's? Or did
11 below the nat one.
below my what? Okay.
First thing I thought about when you mentioned that belching is the nurgling, which I posted in the chat.
I was thinking Left 4 Dead as well, or Left 4 Dead over that, but yeah.
They're more human-y than that, but they're still kind of
Yeah.
the same deal. So go ahead, Rachel.
Cool. So,
There is a
just,
trouble-sized hole in this door, so you can now walk through that square.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't
should
think I
yell
can
prepare for
round.
trouble.
Can I like roundabout it to get here to kind of get flanking?
I would say you'd have to take an attack of opportunity. Given where he's positioned, it's not possible for you to get to that square without moving through a threatened square.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk up here because someone else has a better chance of getting to there. So even if it's not true flanking,
Mm-hmm.
because I won't be able to get to flanking.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah. It would be difficult for you to get anywhere else. And at this point, I would say you can see this one. And now this one as well. Obviously.
She just wanders up to it and is like, "Sup? Dang it!"
So you say sup, and it just kind of like turns its head and just kind of like screams at you, and you just feel your rapier makes contact, but it just sinks into like blubbery flesh and does no real damage.
One day I will figure out how to use fire magic or something. One day, hopefully, if I can ever get smarter.
So Zach, go ahead.
Okay. What would it take for me to climb up there and then drop on this one? And attack it?
It would take a climb check just to see if you can make it up there, but since it's not that large of a climb, I'll just wrap it in with your movement and then allow you to attack.
Alright.
Alright, 13's good enough.
Okay.
So you
I
can
will-
get to there.
Yeah. And then I'll, I guess, just drop in there.
Alright.
And, stab it.
18 does hit, so you deal 7 points of damage.
Yep. Schnazzy.
Do you have a specific damage type? Actually, never mind. I mean, I'm pretty sure that.
First thing I think for a rapier.
Yeah. Okay. That leaves us with Andrew.
Woohoo. Can I stand on this square?
Yeah. You can.
I'm just gonna finagle my way through, avoiding.
10, 15, 20.
I have 40
yeah, you
feet.
can get there. Oh, yeah, sure.
It's like I am movement.
And that flanks with Rachel, so.
Then I'm gonna, Blood Rage. And then I'm gonna go whack. Not lighting my axe on fire though.
25 certainly hits. And 17 is a boatload of damage.
I
All
have a
right.
+7 to your damage. What?
It's like a bonus strength from blood raging.
Oh.
So, funny enough, like, your great axe gets caught up in this thing's blubber, and then you just, like, you're just sheer rage. You just take it back and just hit it again, and it just dies. You, like, finally cut through that blubber and just cut it in half. Its
Bye-bye.
damage reduction cannot save it from 17 points of damage in a single blow. Alright, so there's a corpse now on the ground that I will let Charlie deal with. One of them
Lara
has
just
been
kind of looks
vanquished.
at Doth. Good job, Doth.
Nothing can stand before me.
Yeah, I mean, the
missed
rest of
the
you just see
fire,
him
though.
like bursting a vein in his forehead as he goes into a blood rage.
Missed the fire, though.
I'm saving the fire for whatever is hidden.
Logan.
Oh boy. Zach, were you able to land a hit on this thing?
Yeah, I did 7 points of damage.
Yes.
All right. So, if I were to, sorry,
To
Alex,
add a
go
bit
ahead.
of flavor to its damage reduction, Zach, when you hit it, you're like, same as Rachel, your rapier sinks in just through its thick layers of like blubbery skin. You think you did something, but it certainly did less than you'd expect.
I'm gonna do something very stupid. So if I jump down on top of this thing from above, Alex, am I getting the benefit of flanking?
I'd give you sneak attack, sure. Or
Okay.
flank, I suppose.
Which would be sneak attack here?
Yeah.
Denying its bonus to dexterity. Alright, so bringing out the kunai or the knife or whatever, and or the dagger. And gonna jump down on top of this thing, expending the key point to make 2 weapon attacks.
Cool.
And melee.
The 25 certainly hits. The 13
Plus
also
flanking.
hits because you're flanking.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll me that damage.
Alright. So that is, what is a dagger again? Is that a d4?
I think it's a d4, but you also get your sneak attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to roll that manually. So rolling 2d4.
Yep.
And then adding in the d6 for each of those attacks. And then an additional, or adding dexterity to knives, right?
Yes.
So then that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
What is your
Plus-
dex bonus?
5, so 20 damage
Uh,
across 2 attacks.
yes. Okay. It is
And
still
then
up. You feel the majority of your blows just getting absorbed once again, but you're still cutting through, you think.
And then I'm just going to, for flavor, if you don't mind me effectively mounting it.
Sure.
So I'll make an acrobatics check on its turn if necessary.
If it gets another turn, we'll see. Oh, I guess it is actually. It's Cody's turn.
Hey, Zach.
Where's the goon at?
Yeah. What's up?
Dodge.
Is
Dodge.
Cody existing?
Oh. I don't know.
Cody.
Cody.
Exist or
asked in the
get
game,
kicked.
man.
It's your turn.
You know, I think I'm gonna. Am I zoomed out too far?
It's a rather small map, so it's probably not.
There we go. My roll 20 was frozen for a second.
Just blast the one next to Zach and Logan.
Be very careful how you blast it.
I was gonna say with Zach standing in the door frame, it's a difficult shot.
No, it's not. Not
I'm
for
going
Cody.
to carefully take it.
Do you have the precise shot feat? Do not remember what we had you take at level 1.
No, it was the reload feat.
Alright. Because I did brushing up on the rules. So if you're firing at an enemy that's in melee, you take -4.
Unless you have quick shot. Or
Unless you have precise shot. So just roll your attack with a -4. Unless you want to pick a different target, which would be...
And please, for the love of God, don't hit me.
Okay, so I'm assuming that doesn't hit.
Yeah, with the -4, and you're struggling to aim around Zach, and you're trying to make sure you don't hit him. And the bullet kind of like, it clips the creature, but not in a way that would do significant damage to it. It just kind of like passes through one of its bits of like blubbery. I always say blubbery flesh because that's the only way it's described, but you know.
Don't
No
make
real
it mad.
Alright, then it rolls around to the demon's turns. They are going to have a bit of fun.
Andrew, get ready.
Oh no.
So, you see this one kind of walk up, and Nick, once more, it lets out a weird sort of screamish, like a screaming chant. And you see as like a pool of almost like dark ooze just kind of seeps out of it, and then suddenly on the square next to it, it has summoned another demon.
Well, that's a problem.
Beacon Gate.
They multiply.
There is also screaming going on from within the closed off room. However, you do not see the result of what happens in there. And the one engaged with Daraka. First, I would say, Miyu, go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check to see if it can't, like... Oh, well, yeah. Alright, so you have, like, a pretty solid grasp on this thing, however, you're choosing to stay attached to it. So it's trying to thrash you off and failing, but then it will go ahead and take an attack at Zach.
Rude.
Also, since it has rolled back around to its turn, everyone within the 20-foot radius of the original cloud, please make me a fortitude save.
Does the
balls.
cloud enter the building?
I would say especially because of the hole in the wall and the fact that it started here to begin with, it does.
Okay.
So that's me, Nick.
I think it's everybody but Doth.
Wait, why?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Woohoo! Somehow being smart inadvertently.
Alright, hit me with those effects there, Alex.
Are we... Okay. So, Trouble and Miyu, the two of you, after you guys are continuing to fight inside this just nauseating cloud, I need to look up this real quick. So Miyu and Trouble, you spend the next one of your available turns retching and just trying not to, throw up whatever you have recently eaten, as this just nauseating green cloud has invaded your senses. So essentially, it's a one-round lock.
And that's
rest of you?
for reactions as well?
Yeah.
Or it's just you spend your entire turn. So
You spend your turn essentially
your
trying
actions
not to, yeah.
Alright.
The rest of you are managing to continue. It will take an attack at Zach now that I'm done resolving that cloud. So it is going to take a full attack action, which means it gets to make 3 attacks. 2 of its claws are going to whip out at you, Zach.
Oh dear.
What is your AC?
17.
Alright, 1 miss and 1 hit. And you take... That's not too bad. 4 points of damage. And then Miu, after it's finished clawing at Zach, a really kind of odd thing happens to you. You're mounted on this thing, and then suddenly one of those like bits of blubber forms into a temporary, like, not so much a mouth, but just teeth begin to like jut from it that are ragged, and it just takes a bite at you.
All right.
Uh, definitely gonna hit. I rolled super high. What's your AC?
18.
Yeah, I rolled a 21 total. And you also take 3 points of damage.
Taking 3.
The one... Okay, this one did its thing, and then this one is also doing its thing. Which I actually... Now that I'm looking at what it can do, I need to check this spell. Doth, roll me a will save.
What?
Go Doth.
Wait, I need. Wheel save. Wait, where's the wheel save? Wheel. Add a +2 to that. Oh, never.
Yeah.
Add a +2 to that, but you know
So-
it's not gonna matter.
As this is all going on, you kind of are seeing the other two struggling in the background. You're thinking it's all going pretty well. And then the door in the back to that closed off room kind of creaks open, and all of a sudden you are filled with an unearthly fear. All you know is that you need to get out.
Ha.
So you must, since you are under the frightened condition, flee as best you can. If unable to flee, you may fight, but otherwise you must move away from the source of your fear, which is something in this room.
Okay.
That ends it for their turn. Nick, up to you.
No, he's
Aren't I
retching.
throwing up?
So, Nick, you spend your turn. I believe it is just your... You can still move, maybe? If you'd
Am
like
I
to move
aware
all
of
out,
these?
it's just an unpleasant process as you do not get attacks this turn, as you are...
Drag my
Wretched.
sword out of a cloud. Am I aware of these guys?
Yes.
Are they just on the staircase?
Not actually on the staircase. They're actually tucked behind it.
Alright. Either way,
But
I'll get
the staircase itself is not, like, solid all the way through, if that makes sense. It's not like it goes all the way
Yeah.
to the ground, so you can attack from, like, this square to this square.
So this is a legitimate gap right here? Sort of?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, like, for example, you could attack, like, here to here. Or here to here.
Hmm.
But that is that for now, presumably, since you cannot attack.
I'll avoid being meta about it and just say I'm trying to move as short a distance as possible in my condition.
Fair enough. Rachel, up to you.
Dolara immediately starts moving towards the door.
Alright.
She gets
I'll
maybe
say-
halfway before thinking, oh, I should probably do a perception check.
Yeah, go ahead and make one as you go up. Alright, it's relatively dark inside this room, but your well-trained Ifrit eyes can make quick work of that. And you see there is one more of these demons inside this room. And it seems
Okay.
to be glowing, or not glowing, but glaring intensely at Doth.
Okay, so I moved, I think, 15 feet?
10.
No, 15 isn't
10,
right. I moved
I thought.
10. I'll move
So
another
you can
10.
certainly move.
I don't think I can attack, though.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
I'll
Ah!
say that the perception was quick enough that it didn't take it. But this thing, even though it's kind of shocked at your sudden appearance, is still ready for combat, and you stab in, and with really kind of odd grace, it dodges out of the way.
If it tries to attack me, I am going to do a panache point. But
Cool. Zach, it's your go. You know that, like, this thing now is looking pretty beat up.
All right.
with the two of you having attacked it several times.
Well, I'm just gonna try and
Oh,
ahead and-
stab Logan.
don't.
Roll D100, and if you want low or high.
Low.
All right. So you do not gore Logan. However, you miss, and let me. Yeah, that's middling. You didn't roll like super on the high end, so you just miss.
I move my leg out of the way as I yell down to you while covering my mouth. Watch it.
Unfortunately, I think that's it for your turn, unless you want to move out of the cloud.
I'll
Zach,
Yeah.
careful.
You would take an attack of opportunity,
I'm
but that
gonna
might be
stay.
better than being stunned for a round. If you were to fail the con save.
think I might stay and try and actually kill this thing.
All right. Andrew, it's your turn.
Hi.
You need
Hey,
to
Zach.
leave.
Bye.
Zach.
What?
In
Move
the
5 feet, so
how many feet can I go?
Move my feet so it doesn't get the full attack, Zach.
If you're going to go for the door, make a bull rush attempt. So go ahead and roll me a strength check as
I-
you try to just yeet Cody out of the way.
I still didn't
Just
hear what you
you
said,
fuck.
Logan.
Cody, if you'd like to remain standing, roll me a strength check.
Through the slits of your helmet, you see a bull rushing towards you.
Let's go.
So, just barely. The rest of you turn around. Doth's eyes just go wide, and he just books it towards the entrance, nearly just trying to body check Karakos out of the way. And by the skin of his teeth, Karakos has like dug his heels into the dirt and is holding Doth at bay. At that square.
okay.
What do you choose to do, Andrew?
Go around.
All right. I mean, there's really only like enough space for one person to fit through, but there's enough door that if you wanted to, you could hack down the rest.
I will hack down the rest and dip.
Remind
So
me,
go ahead and
Xander
roll me an
Frank.
attack.
So you said I'm fearing for my life.
Yes, so I'll read you the exact description. A frightened creature flees from the source of its fear as best it can. If unable to flee, it may fight. A frightened creature takes a -2 penalty on all attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks.
Yeah, I'm lighting my axe on fire and attacking the door.
A frightened creature can use special abilities, including spells, to flee. Indeed, the creature must use such means if they are the only way to escape. Yeah, okay. 18 damage to the door. So, Karakas, you barely stop Doth from moving forward, and immediately he just takes his great axe and obliterates the rest of the door, and you can continue your movement.
I'm off the map.
I'll just stop you at the edge. Why not?
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Well, there just went all of our stuff.
Logan, here you go.
All right.
Doesn't
I
it
am
fade
retching,
after a
but-
little bit?
You
You
said-
said another will save at
was,
the next turn.
a little bit is a
Uh,
relative term.
a
I said,
minute.
oh, after a bit.
Talking about the fog or the fear effect?
The fear effect.
You'll get another will save on this turn, I guess.
Actually, I rolled a d4 on the number of rounds it would affect you, and the answer was 1.
Ah.
Lucky you.
Wait a minute,
You
I'm not
almost
afraid of
knocked me
these
out
guys.
combat again. You're an absolute monster.
Look, you keep rolling 2 on your will saves. All right, Logan, I think I said it was your turn.
Yeah, so Nick was able to move despite retching, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can I attempt to get off of this thing and onto the wall again?
Yeah, I would let you do that. I mean, you're kind of high enough up, but it's still going to be a little difficult. So go ahead and just roll me a.
Hang on,
hold
this is a thing that Key does.
I mean, really, I think you might just take an attack of opportunity, right? Because you're leaving its reach if you're trying to get onto the top of the wall. So you're leaving a threatened square in 3 dimensions,
Yeah, I
which
guess.
is kind of weird.
Let me check something though.
Maybe? I don't know. It's weird.
There we go. Any acrobatics check skill made to jump as if I had a running start. So if that's
more
something you're
for
worried about.
long jumps.
Yeah, I'm just in case you needed that for getting out of the square.
Okay.
But I'll take the attack of opportunity as I jump up to this square.
All right. I'll have it roll. That's. What's your AC?
18.
Miss.
Awesome. And then, how much movement would I have remaining? How much is a
Scurrying
jump?
up the wall, I would just say takes 10 feet of movement.
All right. I will take 10 feet of movement that way.
All right.
And spend a key point to add another 20.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think that I can do that. I don't think that's a bonus.
I would double check, but just I'll let it go for now. Cody, your go.
Alrighty.
Never mind. There we go.
At this point, you can see the ones that are kind of stacking up on trouble. So, depending on which target you want to go for.
I'm gonna shoot the rear one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack. That'll hit. 6 points of piercing damage.
Woody, you got to start using those bombs, man.
Yeah. I'll reload a bomb into my gun.
Cool. That leaves it to the enemies. I'll first resolve the one that is attacking Rachel. What is your AC, Rachel?
Panache. Well, okay, so my AC is 18.
Okay, first attack is a miss.
Okay.
What does your panache exactly do?
Okay, so there's technically two, so I could either try to parry or I can just dodge.
Well, I would say be thankful of your armor, because my attacks were 18, 18, 7. So the two ties do not hit you.
Cool.
So you will not need to dodge, but you could still maybe parry if you wanted damage.
Actually, I can because it. So I'll click it.
So you attempt to parry the attack. Make an attack roll as if you're making an attack of opportunity. Do you get damage on that, or does it not matter? Again, it's an immediate action. Make an attack against the creature. Alright, yeah, okay. So roll an attack, I think, and then if it's higher, you get to counterattack, right?
Prick.
It's not higher, but technically you're not attacking it, so it just means your panache ability fails.
Yep. Okay.
But you still don't get hit. Then there's the one fighting Zach. What is your AC, Zach?
17.
One hit against you, the other two miss.
Okay.
Not a lot of damage. Plus 1, so you take 3 points.
Not bad.
And then Trouble. This one is going to step here. And then the second demon is going to scuttle with kind of an odd path to take a 5-foot step here. And then they are going to attack you. What is your AC?
16.
I'm just paying you back for like rolling well in the last fight, because now I'm rolling trash and you guys are rolling well. I rolled 5 misses and a critical. So let me confirm that crit. The critical does confirm.
We feel confident after getting healed by
Tebnet.
Nick.
yeah.
Or Nick.
Yep,
Either
yep.
or. So the double damage puts you at 6 points of damage.
I take 6.
It was a disappointing round. But that does indeed end it. I missed like...
Don't we need to roll fortitude saves again?
Not
Actually,
if you
sorry,
don't remind
you
him.
do. Thank you, Zach, for reminding me.
Not if you don't remind him, Zach.
If only. Wait, hold on. 1 round per. Does it tell me what level they're casting it at?
I shouldn't have to roll fortitude anymore, right?
I don't actually know the answer to this question. Hold on. Oh, CL second. All
Cody,
right,
you're
never
good,
mind.
you're out of range.
You do not have to roll again because the spell has reached its maximum duration.
Oh, alrighty then.
It's
Snazzy.
only 2 rounds. And since it affected you before combat and the first round of combat, I'm saying that it is over, so the stinking cloud dissipates. Which means it rolls to Nick's turn.
Alrighty. Would I be flanking this one with Cody
Yep.
there?
That is the price he paid. He flanked you, but in the process got himself flanked.
Lovely. I'll go for that one then.
I believe he has taken a little
Oh.
bit of damage, but
Yeah, I'll save my smite for now. Just in case, you know.
fair enough.
And take a swing in that one.
19 will certainly hit. 12 points of damage.
Sweet.
Let me clarify that note. All right, it's still up. It's taken a beating though. Anything else? Do you want to take a 5-foot step, or are you good where you're at?
I could take one up, I guess. If possible.
Yeah, that's possible. Rachel. Let me double check. I think sadly that ties its AC. So
You just, like, she starts muttering under her breath in a language no one else speaks. But it sounds like cursing.
You should also take a 5-foot step out of the way.
Yeah, she takes a 5-foot step.
all right,
Nope. Wait.
you could
Because
do
he
that.
can't attack through the wall, right?
I mean, I would say that he can kind of peek his head out that door and still get in a swipe. Which is, I mean, I would allow you to attack him from
No,
this
you
square
should-
as well.
You should go to the left or
Okay.
right, not there. Thank you.
Just as you could kind of like, maneuver and poke him through the door. Zach, it's your go.
Okay, let's try this again. Nope.
Nope. This is just the battle of, like it's a pillow fight.
Yep.
Neither side can hit the other. Andrew, spend your
Yep.
turn charging back into combat.
Yeah, so I'm no longer frightened.
Yeah, you're no longer frightened.
Yeah, I'm charging right back up at that man. Who just,
Welcome back,
frightened me.
ya bitch.
All right.
Where do you
Charge-
feet?
No, I can charge 80 feet.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He goes.
I go. And this man
Insert-
about to die.
Insert Cloudy with a chance
Is
of
the
meatballs.
sword
I
or is the
had
axe
to.
still on fire?
Lockwood.
Your 13 would not hit, but you're charging, so you get a +2 to your attack. So the 15 beats its AC of 14, and you do 19 points of damage to it.
Is the axe still on fire?
The axe is on fire.
Notably, the demon side, pretty flame resistant. They belong in hell.
Maybe fire was not the best choice.
But Alara is still
There's-
entertained by the axe with fire on it. So
Fire
she
is
starts
good.
like golf clapping from behind the corner.
We've all seen Harry Potter. This demon is nearly headless Nick. Turns out damage reduction is not that great against single massive damage attacks. It's much better when you're dealing like 6 points of damage, and it resists like 5 of them. But Andrew does a pretty sizable blow. Logan, it's your go.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We're just gonna attack from above.
Yep, that works. Bit of a rough angle with the staircase, but that hits and it's dead.
Yeet.
Cool. Cody, your go.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step back so that I don't take my -4. And still fucking lose.
Sadly, its AC is 14. Which means your bullet does not manage to hit a significantly vital area. I would say, like, this thing's anatomy itself is kind of odd. Because you're like, you know, that probably would have hit an internal organ, but, like, you're not an expert on demons. So it seems like it just kind of passes through a spot, which was not incredibly important. Then it is the enemy's turn. I guess I'll resolve the ones on Zach right now. Zach, your AC is like 17, right?
Yep. That is correct.
Zach? Alright, let me roll some damage. Take 7 points of damage.
Holy shit. Alright.
Zach, you should stop point blanking these things.
Yup.
Struggling in the melee in the 1v1. And then Trouble, they are going to continuing maybe to sense this divine presence that has been part of you. They are ganging up. Okay. What is your AC?
16.
All right. I rolled much better on their attacks this time.
Oh boy.
Okay. This is where I have to do some substantial math.
Oh boy.
Because I did roll another critical and I confirmed it. So, let's get that out of the way first. And I maxed damage the critical. All right.
Oh.
So, first of all, the critical does 10 points of damage. There's just one of these creatures, like the one you're currently facing, and you hit last. Suddenly, just like another appendage just kind of like bursts out from its chest and swipes and like nicks you by the throat.
Ouch.
And then there is a couple more attacks that hit. So, I guess we'll resolve those. Mineral damage, so you take 2. And then one more attack that hits. You're a lucky bastard. That was bad damage. 3 more points. How are you looking?
On the scale of 0 to 22, I'm a 1.
Lucky you!
Let's go, Nick.
One point in a dream.
All
Well,
right.
good thing you have lay on hands.
Yeah, and it's swift healing for myself.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the rest of you, you're like, oh, this is going pretty okay. And then suddenly, just 2 of them turn around, ignoring Cody's character, and just start mauling Trouble in the corner.
Everything.
Hey,
that's it
I
for
was
their
trying
turn.
to deal with the one that like had glowing red eyes.
It
Like
was
he just
its
looked
cost
at
to
Doth,
yourself.
and Doth ran past me, and I'm like, well, might as well go deal with that one.
Ironically enough, it's like, you'd think that anything that can make Doth run, you should probably not fight. But that's ironically untrue. Alright.
Well, it's also Telaro who is impulsive, so she's like, oh, okay.
Well, Trouble, it is your turn.
Alrighty, I'm gonna lay on hands myself swiftly. Hopefully I get some good health back.
Alright. You put a
Ones.
hand up to...
I
Staunch the
pat
bleeding from your
myself
throat.
on the throat. That's not what I want.
Come on, Nick. Don't min roll this.
Yeah, right.
Max roll it. Let's go. Roll
Show me a
6.
4.
That's okay.
I might
So,
survive those. I still
Quick
get
battlefield medical. You just like put a hand to your throat and lay on hands the gash.
okay, and I try my best to finish this one off before he, one I hit earlier before he get another swipe at me.
Cool.
I'm gonna also
Smite.
let me see.
My
Yeah,
boy.
let me see what requirements that is, because that might be a swift action as well. I can't remember.
It
once
might
per
just be something
day.
you can do. Do you have to make an action?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. Swift action, yeah, unfortunately. Can I use my move action, maybe? To use Find Evil?
It's weird because I don't remember if that's a Pathfinder 2nd edition thing or a Pathfinder 1st edition thing, but go ahead.
Alrighty, thanks. Oh, benevolent DM. In that case, I get +2.
Kind of like,
to hit.
you know, I think there's a system in maybe 5e that I'm messing up where you can do a bonus action as a full action just because of like the time difference. But
+2 to hit and +2 to damage. Okay. Actually, +4 to damage because this is an outsider.
Yep.
I think.
I believe they are. Most team, yep, small outsider.
Okay.
Well, it said interplanar magic.
Big damage, no whammies.
No whammies, Nick. Come on. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
That is... Okay.
You realize, especially assisted by your smite, your greatsword cuts through this thing like butter. Which one were you attacking?
Well, the one that was already damaged.
Yeah, it's dead. You just bisect it.
Yeah.
Its blubbery skin literally just boils before you can even hit it with your sword, as just the divine aura just shaves it off.
For flavor, I scream abyssal. Now you're asking for trouble.
That's a bad
know,
pun.
You get no response from anyone.
Ooh.
Yeah, you
I
know
mean, none of you
right?
understand it.
That's the point. We can't respond.
So that one is now dead. Funny enough, yeah, with the +4 to yeah, you actually would have one-shot the other one, which is nuts.
Damn it. Oh well.
With a max roll plus smite, you do exact lethal with no damage reduction.
I think smite would also. Oh. No, wait, that's against. Never mind.
Rachel, your go.
Do I have to try to stab it, or can I actually just like duck through and then try to stab it?
You mean like, can you move to this square?
Yeah.
Because this one isn't. The one in the room is dead. You can just move to that square. That's fine.
Okay.
As a, like the staircase does not go all the way to the ground. It's elevated, so you can.
I was trying to figure out like if it's like what the construction of it looks like, where if I could actually get through or not.
Yeah, you can.
Smite evil bypasses DR. Oh well.
Oh yeah, I was keeping that account.
Yeah. I figured that's why you mentioned it.
I'm so sorry, Rachel.
I know.
Have you,
Nick, you had 4 HP?
Rachel just comes over to finish me off.
die, demon.
Wrong demon.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a reflex save, because that's more fun.
Me, right?
Yes, you.
Oh, thank
Roll an
God.
attack.
Cool, you get your attack back.
Yep.
Roll again.
That's how, if you crit your reflex save, it undoes your crit fail, so roll another attack.
Crit fail again.
That has happened before, I promise it. That hits. 11 points of damage. It's no smite, so it does a little bit less, but you still land a decent hit. It is looking wounded.
In Ifrit again, she mutters, "Effing finally."
So, I mean, with that little, like, crit fail into crit success, you basically, like, nearly hit your head on the staircase as you duck under it. You kind of just stumble forward, barely manage to catch yourself, and by the time you look up, your rapier is impaling it.
I was gonna make a joke of, you know in Princess Bride where they both like they're fighting with their left hands and then they switch to their right hands.
It's like, haha.
Just reflex save.
I am not left-handed
Switches
either.
hands. Switch hands and then.
Hey
That
Rachel, I
works.
have curiosity. Have you taken weapon proficiency? Feat.
Weapon focus.
I think it's proficiency, but I'm not sure.
I think it's weapon focus, and then
Yeah.
goes into, like,
Master
This is
and
an
everything else.
excellent question. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's
I don't-
weapon focus.
think so. But I could double check for you. I mean, it would be under your feats. Do you have a feat listed there?
What did Rachel take for her first level feat?
I had a first level feat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
we'll figure that out.
Well, the weapon focus for it gives you a +1 to whatever weapon you choose.
Yeah, okay, I apparently didn't realize that you didn't have a feat, my bad.
It's
We'll
usually
figure that
when
out.
you take it first level, generally speaking. No worries
I,
though.
I I don't want to, blame you, Alex, for.
Look, I've put up a list of things.
I don't know. I had a feat.
What about
I
your
was
second
like,
level
hey,
then?
Alex, does my sheet look right?
There's a lot to look at. I have 7 players.
I mean, that's definitely fair.
Okay.
Actually, you took your second level feat too, right?
No, don't lie. That's not a thing. Don't be confusing the new players.
I'm only
get
confusing the
one,
non-fighters.
You only get
Shut up.
feats in odd levels unless you're a fighter.
Or a slayer. But that's beyond the point. Regardless.
Okay, back to.
Okay. Zach, it's your go. Try to finish this thing off.
I will make an attempt.
Go, Zach!
Hey!
Yeah! You did exact lethal, by the way. You needed to max roll.
Thank God. So I'm looking pretty toasty right now.
So it's over there just trying to turn Zach into a furball, and Zach, you finally land one good solid blow where your rapier just slides between. I mean, how do you want to kill it?
I'll just impale it through the heart.
Yeah. It's, you know, some miracle of like demonic anatomy, but you get a pierce and you're like, you kind of just feel something pop on the inside, and this thing just goes still and falls off your blade.
Finally found it. Turns out the heart is in the kidneys.
I just say fucking finally.
I'm having trouble putting an X on it. All right, there's one last one. Andrew, your go.
I'm just gonna stay
Come on,
where
Andrew.
I am.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I got 5 hit points.
I can stand right next to it to get flanking.
I've got 5 hit points too.
yes.
Get over
Yeah,
here.
Rachel.
No, your AC is higher than mine.
Okay. Well, yeah.
What do you mean my AC is higher than yours?
Is it not?
Stand there. And as
No,
my
you
axe
took the Chama.
sputters out of
didn't you?
fire, I'm going whack.
Quack.
Oh wait, that was
Oh.
Andrew.
Whack.
With flanking, you have a +2, which makes you hit its flat-footed AC. 8 damage doesn't kill it.
Oh
Well.
boy.
It's closer.
Wait, oh, number 3 was dead, and I forgot to cross it off. Number 4, you take some amount of damage.
Yeah, my AC is 16. I don't have any dex bonuses like you.
Oh,
Mew.
never mind. My AC is a
5,
little
10,
higher.
15, 20, 25.
You've got enough of advantage that you have a shot on it.
30 as I jump the corner.
Roll a jump check.
Oh boy.
Oh
I mean, that's still like a 5-foot jump. Jump is not a skill. That's a 3/5 skill, is it? God damn it! Roll an acrobatics check.
Hang on. This is a standing.
This is a running jump. Use your key point.
I have my key point. Yeet.
Plus,
Yeah.
I mean, you would make it even without a key point, but
Wow, plus.
Well, there was
12.
no key point used there.
yeah. Okay. You nimbly leap to the other corner and proceed to miss. And
use
mineral
the
your
key-
damage.
And I spend the key point to. Oh wait, no, I can't do that because you can't move and full attack on the same turn.
Mm-mm.
Nope, I just miss him.
Cody, your go.
Cody, do some
Poor
damage.
little demon boy.
No. I'm going to do 0 damage.
That's not okay. Cody, you also specified you were using your shot, right?
I will save you the time.
I mean,
because
even
it
with
is a
that-
fire damage shot, right?
Yeah.
You use your shot. This thing's hide is accustomed to the fires of hell.
The piercing damage still goes through, though, right?
Piercing damage does indeed go through, but it is still alive. Remember how I was saying damage reduction works a lot better when people don't have like 20 damage?
He does. It's just you have fire resistance
Well, yeah.
or
that's fair.
immunity.
It's like DR10, so unless you roll more than that much fire damage, you know. It is still up, and it is completely surrounded.
Oh, don't do it to us again.
It's gonna split.
Can I use my reaction?
That doesn't really.
I cover
is
my
it?
mouth. I cover my mouth.
Well, you go to try to do that. As I mean, the thing is, all of this is happening simultaneously. So you're like
Oh,
leaping in
no.
the air right now, and it just faces the ground and just out bellows green smoke again. And just
No.
Everyone within 20 feet of it, please make me a fortitude save.
Yeah.
Oh no. Wait, do I have?
Does this mean I escaped the fortitude save?
Yes,
you
you
are
did.
well more than far enough away. Jesus,
Huzzah.
y'all are just rolling incredibly.
Yeah, apparently to Laro, like, this does not phase her. Apparently
Okay.
something that she has smelled
You've been
in her
around the
travels
ship.
smells much worse.
Yeah.
Should be rolling.
I'll just reveal it now. The DC was 13. You all pass. And then proceed to just turn this man into Swiss cheese. Would you like to just end the combat here?
No.
Fade to black.
Okay. Then I will. I mean, we can continue to see who lands the final blow. It is Trouble's go.
Please.
You're not like technically flanking it, but you're literally surrounding it on every possible square practically. So I'll give you flanking, I guess.
Pray to my
Alright,
god.
that's
to
GG.
live.
It's flanked by it's GG's anyways. Were you smiting this one or no?
Through the wall,
I
Nick.
don't
Through the
have-
wall.
I only get one at this level.
Ah, you only get one. All right. Well, regardless, the residual divine energy on your great sword, you manage to be guided true. You strike the thing, and 13 minus 5 puts you at 8 damage, which kills its 7 hit points. It's dead. So yeah, it has DR5 to, I think it was, give me a second, DR5 to cold iron or good weapons.
Cold iron, wow. Kind of beasts.
I mean, anything not that?
We aren't using cold iron.
No, but it is a special weapon against these kind of things usually, isn't it?
I mean, you had a
So
good
you're
weapon
saying
when
it
you
has-
smite it, which is why it cut.
Yeah.
But you're
But
saying it
also
has
it ignored.
DR5 to anything except.
I'm just surprised they had cold.
So how DR works is it has DR5, like if something has DR5 adamantine, it means only adamantine bypasses the damage reduction.
Okay.
So cold iron weapons or good weapons bypass the damage reduction.
Right.
Yeah, but we have, like, some characters have DR5 fire resistance.
Yeah.
Or DR5 fire.
Because it's not actually this. You have fire resistance 5, which I just shorthand to DR5 fire because it makes sense to me. But
But on the sheet, if it's DR5 fire, it would mean that it takes resistance to everything except fire.
I think so. By that I mean yes, but it would be weird.
I assume. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I assume the two most injured left are me and Zach. Alright, Zach, do you want to take the first d6 or the second?
Doesn't matter to me.
At this point, I will start mobilizing Charlie and his holy water.
We had holy water the whole time? I forgot about that. Hey, nice rolls.
Those are pretty nice rolls. What one do you
It
It was a
want?
higher constitution modifier.
I have a con mod of 3. So
Same here.
So,
You'll
alright.
recover hit points at the same rate then. So I'd say give the higher one to the person with the higher maximum.
take it, lick Nick.
22.
So Mew, or not Mew, sorry, Anya
Yeah, minus 19.
walks in
so-
with the holy water and starts messing about. There's like a summoning circle that's been like broken on the floor. It looks like obviously this was a summoning gone wrong. And Anya's doing something to it.
Oh no! Collecting the ashes for a personal experience.
I'll just keep walking around the perimeter, kind of looking down and seeing if there's anything in any of these rooms.
Yeah, I want to look in the middle room if there's anything.
Look for loot.
Let me go
Like,
ahead
what
and-
was this place initially? A
From what
tower?
you can, yeah, it was some sort of tower. It looked, I mean, it's kind of out by itself. You gather from what you can find, there's like a couple of tables, a very small kind of like 2-bed bunk room on the first floor, and there's not a whole lot else. Like these barrels over here are kind of like old stale provisions, and there's like an empty one that may have at one point held water.
Hey, Nick, do you want to, like, see if Trouble notices anything about what Anya is doing?
Yeah, Trouble, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I've got no clue. They're just messing with magic circles.
Okay then. I'd probably be perceptive about that kind of thing, yeah.
So you see Anya's like over messing with the summoning circle, and you just see her like pour out some holy water, and immediately it just like begins boiling and turning into gray sludge, and she's like, "Yeah, that's normal."
Would I know anything about this? I'm not a cleric, I'm a paladin, so...
Roll knowledge religion. If you don't crit fail, you know that's not normal.
Knowledge, religion, crit, fail.
Yeah, I don't think that's how you dispel it.
You immediately like, no, 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 no. She was like going about everything in the exact wrong way, and like would probably have ended up summoning another demon or two, if not intercepted. But I would say with that 22, you know how to properly kind of hallow ground. At least in a spiritual sense.
I use
So.
the rights of Eeyore to bring justice to this place and cleanse it of extraplanar injustice.
And yeah, notably, part of this cleansing process involves like the demon corpses. Because you see, as soon as they have been left kind of on the ground for being dead for a little while, they just start turning into like black festering sludge. And eventually, like part of the what's it called? Purifying process is processing what the corpses leave behind, because demons don't die for real unless you kill them in the abyss. So, I would say with that, and the vials of holy water that Anya had previously gotten, you managed to basically exorcise the corpses. Alright.
Right.
You know how I said I didn't have 3 hours of content planned, Logan? We didn't even scratch the surface.
I know. I told you that we could do it.
Because, I mean, literally,
like I
I
said,
had
you
forgotten.
put us in a dark room.
I had literally forgotten about the in-stay, and that was like an hour and 10 minutes.
Just gotta start a drinking game. Problem solved.
Yep. So anyways, just as a quick final wrap up.
Go to town, get paid.
Yep, go to town, get paid. You
Oh,
guys
is there-
return.
Is there nothing
Turn
here?
beat the shit
Oh,
again.
I'll be sure to give
Okay, hold on. Let me roll me a perception check followed, and I'll roll a d100 because I'm the GM.
Oh.
Hey Andrew, high good or low good?
Hi,
good.
good.
All right. You in your shifting through of all of the remaining stuff, a lot of what has been here has been like rotting and just it's incredibly old. But you find kind of a half moth-eaten cloth sack, and it is filled with metal coins.
Woohoo.
There are, I mean, it's nothing major, but there are 4 gold pieces, 5 silver pieces, and wow, I have a trash roll. 4 gold pieces, 5 silver pieces, and then 8 copper pieces. You want to know what I rolled?
D10s.
A D8, 4 gold, and 2 D100s. 1 for silver and 1 for
Jesus.
copper. And I rolled a 5 and an 8.
I would like to actually check the grounds for something. Can I look for the book that the mage was using who was doing the summoning, or any kind of remains that they had? Because I imagine they left here in an absolute hurry. And it's like, what, a 5-hour walk? They're not going to want to come out here and get that stuff again.
They probably didn't leave.
They did
They
leave.
were demons. And they ran back and they told the shopkeep.
Mhm.
You know, let me figure something out real quick.
Never
I have to
mind.
I have to roll a D3. Slash roll 1d3. So what are you're looking for, like a spell book?
Looking for either his spell book, I'm looking for maybe his provisions that he came out here with, if he had any kind of alchemist or supplies he was using to draw the circles, arcane, anything that he would want back.
As part of this, you don't have knowledge arcana, do you?
I do not, but I am looking with Charlie.
I would just say while you're looking, this doesn't look like a well-practiced wizard circle.
Real quick, Andrew, Alex, I do have knowledge arcana and would like
Go
to
ahead and
assist.
roll that.
You will be my friend,
Oh,
Cody.
sick.
Maybe this was a warlock trying to get
so-
information.
Cody recognizes this was not a wizard or someone that is like learned. It's much more of like a sorcerer or warlock type who draws magic from themselves, and as such, there's not a lot of like material components sitting around. If that makes sense. Like, he didn't have a spell book, he was just channeling inner magic, and it went awry.
So the person who made this was likely a sorcerer or warlock.
Yes, that's what Cody gathers.
One of those people that Charlie hates, then.
Pretty much, yeah. The, like, virgin wizard versus Chad sorcerer meme.
Yep.
Regardless, we're at 10 o'clock now, so I guess that's a good a time as any to wrap up.
Should we add the gold to our inventories?
Or does it?
Or do you
Uh,
want to do that at the beginning of next?
Yeah, well,
Let's do it
work-
now so that I can do it
Alright.
for Charlie. So, I mean, does anyone have like a pressing need to go right now, or can we stay for 5 minutes?
We can stay.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, the mission goal. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So let me just move us back over to the notice board. You guys head back to the rhyming mantle. It takes you the remainder of the day. It's probably getting, closer to 6 or 7 o'clock at night now. As you enter, Tebnet is actually manning the counter at this point in time. And he gestures to you as you walk in, waves hello.
I'll
I'm
eagerly
assuming we
wave
pay
back.
another round of silver.
Hmm?
What?
We pay more silver for another night.
Yeah, presumably. But that we can actually. That's probably best to do now. Let's walk through it though. So, or let's not actually do the instay because there's a not so much a cliffhanger, but a good spot to end it. So, you guys walk in. I presume speak of the demons you fought.
Yes, we
give
speak of the devil.
explicit detail and the procedures we took.
Roll a knowledge religion, Nick, just to see if you could actually have identified those demons. Now that I think about it, or anyone that wants to, which I guess Charlie would roll. Let me just roll. I think he's got a +9, so I'm just gonna roll a d20.
Nice.
We fought a Baylor. It was neat.
Charlie
but
roll.
Charlie, I rolled for him. He rolled a 15 + 9, 24. He would recognize those as Pathfinder dretches, not the 5e dretches.
Ugliest imps I've ever seen.
So he fills in Tebnet, says that you guys had hunted down, I think, maybe 4 or 5 dretches because one extra one summoned. And
They
he
summon themselves?
Yep. There was a 35% chance.
And
Anyways.
they're funky.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of demons actually can summon other demons. But it's on like a percentage basis. And I just so happened to roll under a 35. Regardless, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he hands out the 700 gold to each of you, or not to each of you, to one of you.
Really?
So 100 more gold to everybody in the party. I should add that to Charlie's sheet.
100 gold. Not platinum this time, I guess, eh?
This time he would pay you in gold, because why not?
Already.
I mean, it really
You're
doesn't
just
matter.
flexing on us with a platinum on the first transaction. I see how it is.
You wanted us
He
to
had
know
run
that
out
he
of
could
change.
pay. Can you break a 20?
Yeah, pretty much. And I guess I'll leave it off by saying, or he addresses all of you and says, well, I got into contact with that friend of mine. I happen to know that they'll be performing in a certain club in the city later in a couple of days. There's a summer solstice or summer eclipse coming up pretty quick, and apparently this club will be open.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, an eclipse.
A
Mhm.
club, you
And the
said.
religion city.
It actually happened. I checked the calendar, and it is in 4 days. So
Is it a lunar or a solar?
it is a solar eclipse.
Oh boy, which means that
Oh.
technically it's a full moon.
Are we going to get full totality over our location?
Totality?
Is there going to be a full eclipse where we're at?
Oh yes. Sorry.
Well,
No, he said yes.
I know. It's just like, well, that's going to be bad.
Look,
Some
not
crazy-
all eclipses, not all astronomical events are bad. Sometimes they just happen.
Wrong.
It's time to do another heist.
Nice
Well,
and dark out in the middle of the day. Perfect time to go steal things from the Pope.
Exactly.
It's
Or
called
steal
the
the Pope.
Euclides.
Steal the hat off the Pope.
We're gonna steal the Pope's hat.
Oh boy.
I like just plain
Nick gets
And
Stealing
give
the
it to a
Ecdysis.
pigeon.
Ecdysis.
Yep.
What about a pigeon?
You give the hat to a pigeon.
No.
No.
We steal the hat because we also need that in the Declaration of Independence.
Exactly.
Have fun.
But wait, we haven't kidnapped the president yet.
There's no president here. That's why we were asking earlier.
Logan, we have to write the Declaration of Independence on the inside of the Pope hat.
But just
You're
to-
right.
If y'all
to
really
send us
want,
off.
you could ruin 2 monarchies by heading over to the diarchy of Verontia.
He says
We'll ruin
to the
them next.
party, don't spend all that cash in one place. Tickets to this place are expensive.
Hold on,
How?
how much were we supposed to add?
100
Uh,
GP each.
Ah,
Yep.
gotcha.
100 gold at the beginning of the session, and 100 gold at the end. So you should be 200 gold richer now than you were at the beginning.
Did you say the comment about the diarchy in character?
No.
No?
Okay.
Were these guys talking in character?
No, we're talking out of character.
Yeah.
I wanted to check because that will cause major problems for Toro.
Alright.
I will absolutely decimate that country.
No, you will not.
Yes,
Yes,
I
we
will,
will.
with my good looks.
Sure.
Look, I'm open
Tell
to countries
Laura
being
doesn't trust you
decimated,
with a
but I'd rather
10-foot
be in the
pole.
Montanian League.
Gonna go get the Montanian League to invade the diarchy.
Right
Oof.
then. Does
Tell
he,
Laura doesn't trust you with a 10-foot pole.
Oof.
Well, that's because I don't have trap finding.
does he tell us how expensive this cabaret is?
If you ask, he says, just to send us off. Well, just getting in can be expensive enough, but I happen to have a couple of friends. But for the show we're going to be seeing, it's going to be pretty penny. 50 gold a person.
Why are we seeing the show again?
Because the friend I know is a dancer. And if we are there, I might be able to get their attention.
Well, only I'm planning to go. You guys don't have to.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's
Those of you who do
expensive.
not wish to go,
I
Please
want to
stay
see the
behind.
dancer.
I don't need to.
and oh, there's a
Gotta go
cheesy
wear my new
one-liner
outfit.
that I'm failing to recognize or like failing to come up with on the spot. But he just says it'll be sure to be something, and that's where I'll call it.
Alright.
All right.